We going live. Hey, happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. It's Club Win. I'm in my special chair. I haven't given her a name yet, but I love this little chair. It's so pretty to look at and sit in. I've worn it for years. I think I told y'all last time. So I rarely get to sit in it Monday through Friday because I be working. And when I get home, I be want to put my feet up. I don't have like a little stool to prop my feet up yet with this one. Oh, I do got one in my room, but it's a little big. So I need to find something cute that'll complement this. My blue one will because it'll go with my decor up here. This is the color of the house. As you can see, my dining room chairs as well, my pillows around here. My favorite color. But anywho's, so happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in the Club Win. Hey, come join, come share your wins for the last 2 weeks. Come celebrate yourself, come celebrate one another. No matter how hard life is, it is always something to celebrate, it's something to highlight. So come on in the Club Win. It's Friday, it's Friday. I'm trying to fix this up. I'm trying to fix that up. I don't like how it fall like that. But anywho, so I'm in my special chair, and this is my fan for the week, y'all, because you know we pop our fans or our confetti cannons or whatever we got. But this is my little pretty decor. It actually fell off my wall. I had my daughter make me a little arch over my bed until I find the headboard that I want. So I got a little creative. We a creative family. So I use this little pretty fall decor because it's fall season. When does fall start? Mom, when does fall start? What's the first day of fall? Did it already pass? 20 something? What's today's day, y'all? When does fall start? Because it's time to get y'all fall decor out. I've been decorating. We've been decorating around here with our fall decor since it's been 2 or 3 weeks now. So our front porch is decked out already. Where y'all at with y'all fall decor? Y'all got y'all fall stuff up? I'm looking to see when fall start. Let me see. Hey Alexa. I forgot I got Alexa. When does the fall season start this year? In the United States, autumn begins on Monday, September 22nd. September 22nd, y'all. What's today's date? The 19th. We are a few days away from the official start date of fall, but I'm over the top. So I start early. I do what I want when I want. I do out of the box. So again, like I told you, we started 3 weeks ago with our decor because fall season is just calming. It ushers in all the holidays. I love this time of the year. Growing up, my favorite season was the summer because I am a summer baby. I am a Leo. Can you tell? I got my mane. I got my mane out. Big personality Leo. My birthday. So I've always loved the summertime as a youngster, but when I got older, I'll say in my 30s is when I really started appreciating the fall season. Fall and spring became my fall winter became my favorite seasons. I really like spring because it's pretty. It's pretty like fall. Alexa, stop. She trying to pick up on what I'm not talking to you no more. I just want to know when fall season was. Um, but what was I saying? Springtime is pretty like fall, but springtime bring all the bugs. So I'm good on that. Yes, fall is in. Fall is in and Club Win. Fall is in. Welcome to the chat, Stephanie 57 Journey, aka my mommy. So yes, fall is in. Oh, let me put the link in the chat for those that want to hop on up. Fall is in. I want to know about y'all decor. So come on in. Come on in the Club Win. Let's share our wins for the past 2 weeks because I haven't been on here in 2 weeks. It's been busy. I started my new job. As y'all know, I'm officially a full-time policy analyst, which I prayed for it. I've had a big desire for it. I've been working for it intensively and like putting my all into it over the past 5 years since 2019. And so that prayer has manifested itself, not just by happenstance. It's because I've been putting in work and walking by faith and believing that my good effort will meet God's plans and provisions. And it absolutely did. And the doors opened, opportunities became available, and it was one of the easiest jobs I've ever secured in my life. And for the most part, I am enjoying it. But just like anytime you start with the team, you got to get to know the team. They got to get to know you. Personalities got to gel. Sometimes personalities don't mix, but have enough balance. And my biggest thing is not treating work like family, because that's how I go through life. I'm friendly. I'm a people person. I love everybody. I give God's love out. Like, that's how I see the world. We're children of God, so I love people like children of God, regardless of their flaws, regardless of, their upbringing, their skin color. I love folks with a godly love, right? So that's how I go through life. And I uplift people. I encourage people as who I am. I empower people. And so sometimes that gels with people and their spirit and their personality. And sometimes it don't. Sometimes people don't like people who are kind and who are nice and who are generous and who are happy. And that's sad. That makes me sad for them, not for me, because I'm happy, right? When I am sad, I'm sad. When I'm down and out, I'm down and out. And I've definitely had a long season of being depressed and anxiety ridden. But that is not my normal nature. My normal nature is happy go lucky, bubbly, spirited, sunshine, people person, social butterfly, Michelle. Okay. I'm always encouraging, empowering. You ask my family, it's always a life lesson with me. So it's how I go through life, and sometimes that gel with people, and sometimes that don't. I didn't know exactly what I was going to talk about today, but I think it's going to be that. That's going to be the wins that I highlight, because I am learning how to navigate through it without taking it personally. Because I have absolutely taken it personally before, since I was growing up. Because I was speaking, I would be kind, and it don't matter how kind you are. Some people are just not kind-hearted, and some people be upset. Some people don't want to see the other side of the rainbow. Some people don't want to see the glass half full. And I do understand for the most part why that is. Everybody handle life situations differently. Everybody handle hurt, pain, trauma differently. And we often talk about that saying. And my mom reminded me yesterday when I was venting that hurt people. And that's a real thing. Um, and so I often have to like take it to God. And I've even had to say, like, God, these your children, I'm giving them back to you. Because listen, okay, the older I get, the less patience I have for foolery. I can tell you that. But overall, I still try to stay like who I am, true to who I am, but also be a little bit more realistic with the state of the world and the people that I share this world with. Everybody don't care about what I care about. Everybody doesn't have a heart for humanity like I have the heart for humanity. Everybody don't want the best for everybody, and that is hard for me to accept. That is absolutely hard for me to accept. That's been my hardest lesson. Let me pause because I was supposed to be putting a link up here and I forgot to do it. Go to people, go to copy. Let me put it here so y'all can join if y'all want to get on stage. Okay? But yeah, it's the hardest lesson that I have had to learn in life is accepting people for who they are and not trying to um change them in my effort of trying to help them, because I am somebody who just want to help. I often say I'm a fixer fixer but not a fixer, like fixing because I like to solve problems, so I say fixing. But the reason why I like to solve problems is because I like to help things get better. I like to help people be better. I like to help situations be better so people can have better outcomes. Is why I've been in healthcare for so long, is why I have branched off into public health throughout my career. Is why I have advocated since I was a little girl, before I ever knew what healthcare was, before I ever knew what advocacy was and public health and systems and trauma. I didn't know about none of that. All I knew is this person is sad. I want this person to be happy. They deserve to be happy. This person is angry. Why are they angry? Who upset them? What happened to them? Why are they hurting this person? Like, how can I help them see that they're hurting this person? I've been like that since I was a little kid. One thing I used to do to my mom all the time, she may not have realized it, but I was an empath at an early age. Again, I didn't have that language. I just knew I felt people sadness. I felt people joy. I felt people anger. Like, I felt it. I didn't know it was called empath, but growing up. and learning the science behind stuff, I do realize that I am somebody who's more, I lead more with the empathic heart. Um, and what I used to see with my mom, she's a single mom of three. At one time, she had six babies, but when I was growing up, the majority of my life, she was a single mom of three. And so I often would see the look on her face when I would get home or I'll be home and I would say, Mom, you okay? You okay? You need anything? You okay? And I remember vividly as a young kid, she like, girl, if you don't stop asking me if I'm okay, I am okay. But I knew not all the time that she was okay. We grew up in a family, we were talking about this yesterday. We grew up in a family where the women had to be tough. The women, how I explained it, the women was just as tough as the men. And the men in our family was real tough. The women had hands just like the men had hands. You feel me? They were just as sharp with their tongue and just as quick with their right and their left hand. Okay. So not all the time. I do not recall a time where I've seen women in my family cry when I was growing up. I don't recall seeing women in my family cry. And I'm just realizing that as I talk. I've always said that the women in my family was tough, just as tough as the men. But sitting in this moment, I don't recall if I've ever seen, growing up as a little girl, seeing women in my family cry. Um, I now know, looking back, that how women showed up in my family was a defense mechanism, a self-defense mechanism. I didn't have that language when I was a little girl. And when we're little kids, we don't have that language. We're just observing. We are there. We're present. We're just seeing what's happening. Some of us kids are very oblivious to what's happening, but I was a very observing kid. I was present in the moment. I would watch people. I would study people. I would look to see what's happening, why it's happening, how it can be different. So from a very early age, I watched, I observed, and I sought out ways to help, sought out how to solve problems. And that is how I have walked through life my whole life. And what I am realizing is that, and this is the win, what I am realizing, and I do believe this is a God thing, God has been showing me very clearly, because it'd be like, y'all know, y'all might not be looking for it, but God know what we need. And all of a sudden you'll be on your YouTube or on your social medias or on your phone scrolling, and all of a sudden, or you be having a conversation with somebody or see a sign, and all of a sudden it's exactly a message, an answer to a problem that you've been struggling with. And sometimes you don't know that you've been struggling with the problem. You just know things are unsettled. And sometimes you know you've been struggling with this problem and you don't have a solution for it. And it's like, boom, God gives you the answer through other people, through other modes and mediums of communication, which is what I've been learning about a lot, and how God communicates, God nature. I'm still learning. But for the most part, I have learned and understood over these past couple of years, as I've been overcoming my struggles with OCD, religious scrupulosity, OCD, how God communicates. And by way of finding that out, I've been breaking free from OCD, because OCD will have you bound. For those of you that have OCD, it has you bound in your mind, and it's a fear-based condition, and it is caused. It's a issue of the brain processing, and it's your brain's need to protect itself from harm. So it's fear-based, but it's your brain's way of protecting itself from being harmed. So nonetheless, I said all that to say, we have, I'm assuming people across the world, humans, you go through life and you have issues and you have problems. You'd be like, oh, I don't know how to solve this problem. I'm struggling with this problem. And you might be struggling internally at night. Nobody see you. You holding your emotions. You're not expressing it. And you're just going through life and you're coping and you're struggling and you're trying to figure it out, or you're avoiding it. Some of us, we have avoiding personalities. We have avoiding tendencies. Hello. Also me. We have controlling personalities. Hello. Also me. Um, we have fixer personalities. Hello. Also me. People pleasing. Okay. All these things I'm saying, I'm also recovering from it. Okay. I can say it out loud because I've been in therapy for many years. And also, I got therapists I've never paid for on the YouTube channels, on these YouTube streets. It's therapists that have channels. So if you have some things that you got going on inside, utilize these free resources. It is a lot of people that create YouTube channels that have degrees and they have experience and they have lived it and they can speak to the things that you're struggling with so you do not have to struggle alone. Okay. And I can speak all of this from experience because I have had my struggles and I have been in this process on this journey of healing. And I've been utilizing all these free resources that are on YouTube. You do not have to struggle. Sometimes in the middle of the night and I'm struggling and I was having a hard time going to sleep and insomnia was kicking my butt. OCD was kicking my butt. My brain was battling itself. I'm scared, crying, don't know what to do. Everybody sleep, don't want to disturb my kids. Guess who was available? These free resources in the YouTube streets. I call it YouTube University. My mom called it the YouTube streets, her YouTube friends. But I call it YouTube University. It's so many great resources on there. So you don't have to struggle alone. And God has placed these answers in the earth. My mom reminded me of that. Placed it in the earth by way of putting it in our heart, in our mind, in our creative being, in our schooling to teach things, to educate folks on, to help them so they're not struggling. So I said all that to say, you don't have to struggle alone. It's okay to express yourself. I brought that up because I realized that I did not see women in my family growing up. I did not see them cry. And they were struggling. They were having a hard life. And so much so, I didn't even know until I got older all the things that the women experienced, especially my grandma, who I take after a lot. I'm way more like her than I realized. She's no longer here. She's in heaven. And she passed away from, it was either ovarian or cervical. I feel like it was one and then it, and I think it metastasized to the other one by the end because it started attacking her different organs. But yes, so she had ovarian cancer that she passed away from. But I'm learning that she went through so much in her life, and so many other women in my family went through so much. And it wasn't until I went through stuff in my 30s where I ended up in the hospital as a result of it. Had a whole mental health break, like a mental breakdown. Learned that I had PTSD. Learned that I had ADHD. Learned that I had OCD, religious scrupulosity. It wasn't until I went through my own stuff that it started being revealed that the women in my family also went through some other things. It is other women in my family that was hospitalized and they had their version of OCD and they had their struggles, but nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about it. Nobody communicated that this is a problem that we're experiencing in our family. And if they did, they kept it on the hush hush from certain people in the family, where they might have had one or two people in the family or the adults knew about something, but they didn't. They try to keep it from the kids. And I know that. I know that was a way of doing what they thought and what they knew to do right, which is shielding the kids from stuff. But at the same time, kids got to see that you also struggle as an adult. Kids got to see it. They got to see that you're struggling and they got to see how you get through it. So that way they know when they get older and they go through it, they have had you model it to them. And therefore they have they're equipped with the tools that they need to get through it and navigate these tough life situations that we all are going to go through. So sugarcoating it for kids don't help them. It don't help them. So what I know is that I learned a lot of things the hard way because we were shielded from things that we should have been shown, modeled, and taught and spoke candidly about instead of hiding it. I also grew up in a family that a lot of them went to church. A lot of folks also struggled with addiction. A lot of folks struggle with a lot of hurt, pain, and trauma. And as a result, that bled over into the kids. Um, and they also struggled with coping because they didn't have the coping skills because it wasn't passed down to them. And the generation before them, it wasn't passed down from them to that generation and so on and so forth. I did not plan to talk about this, y'all. Welcome to Club Win. So this obviously a God thing. Somebody need to hear it. But we have to start calling a thing a thing. We got to start naming it so we can change it. We can't hide it. Okay. We went through a lot of things. I said it before on here. Our family also dealt with a lot of incest. Okay. And it was a big family secret, and everybody hid it until people refused to hide it. Some things happened. Love my grandma. She set it off. She held down the fort in her version of protecting her child and me when things was revealed. And so, it's not healthy to harbor all of that for your own well-being, but then also for the kids that are watching the adults. So we got to see y'all have y'all vulnerable moments. We got to see y'all go through y'all struggles, because when we get older, and I'm talking we because I am the adult version of my kid self. I always say that. That's my tagline. I am the adult version of my kid self. And all of us are just the adult version of our kid self. And we're trying to figure it out as we go along. This is all of our first time on this earth, journeying along, whatever age we are, living our life. So we're figuring it out as we go along. Give ourselves grace. Give yourself grace. I have literally been learning to give myself grace because I'm so tough on myself. I'm like, I should have known that. I should have known that. I should have been better. I should have did this. That's the OCD thing, by the way. For those of you who have OCD, you get it. It ties into perfectionism and the fear-based thing. Like, I needed to know more so I could teach my kids better. I need to know more so they can know more, so they can go through less hurt and pain. It's our first time going through this world and journeying and figuring it out. So we got to give ourselves grace. And when I learned that earlier on, I was able to give my mom grace for the things that I felt like I wish she would have told me, but I had to realize she couldn't have taught me something that she didn't know herself. And she couldn't have taught me that because she didn't know it. And my grandma couldn't have taught her that because she didn't know it. All of us, we are equipped with what we're equipped with, and we have exposure to what we have exposure to until we have exposure to something else, until we are open and willing to learn something else. So we are carrying with us the traumas, the burdens, the experiences, the exposure, the access that we've had, the lens that we have acquired from a very early age, since childhood. And we're just taking with that with us throughout life, and we're doing the best that we can with it. Some of us are a little harmful. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. Some of us are harm. No, we're not gonna leave it at that. We're gonna say it. We're gonna say it. We're gonna call a thing a thing. We're gonna name it so we can change it. Some of us, and I'm saying this because I have been on my healing journey, and in many ways, I've caused harm out of the harm that was caused to me. And I didn't even realize it. Sometimes you don't realize that you're harming people out of the harm that you experience. Like, for instance, I used to lay hands. I used to whoop my son's butt. Okay? Backhand. Bow. A lot of us did, because of what we were taught, how we were taught how to manage our emotions. I used to be very short tempered, very short patience, very short patience. And I used to have this thing called, I wish somebody would. But when I was younger, I used different language. If you know, you know. I wish somebody would. Short temper, short temper. I was also very patient, but I have had a short temper when somebody is harming somebody. Like I told y'all from the beginning, that's mine, harming somebody. But sometimes I didn't realize that my short temper was harming other people. And it was harming my kids until I was exposed to a new way of seeing child development, a new way of looking at parenting, a new way of understanding how kids' brains aren't fully developed until they're 26, 28. I learned that over 10 years ago when I was a kindergarten preschool teacher. I had no clue until I did the training to become a kindergarten preschool teacher, and it opened up my mind. And I'm like, oh, so there's another way to adjust kids' behaviors without laying hands on them. Didn't know that because we came from a family that, pow, right? So I've had to learn how to give folks grace. It's easier for me to give others grace than myself, because I'm tougher on myself. But I've learned, and the first person that I forgave and that I gave grace to was my mom. That was the first person I gave grace to. And it was once I read her book. She has a book. It's been out for many years. Mom, what's the name of your book? Mom, what's the name of your book? You can also put in the chat. We live together. We have an intergenerational household. Now, she can attest to this. We could have not did this years ago when I didn't know no better. We talked about this last time, so we won't dive back in it. Y'all can look at the video from last time. But we are both in different seasons of our lives. And we have like grown and we've learned that we just all figuring it out. We're just figuring it out. So give each other grace, be patient. I didn't know no better. I wasn't ready at sometimes when she was trying to teach me stuff. I was a knucklehead teenager. And you know, teenagers, we think we know everything. I'm saying like I'm still a teenager. No, I'm not. But yeah, as a teen, you think you know everything. You think you got it all figured out. And you don't know, Jack. You know what you know up until that point. You know what you know, because some teens very smart. You're smart in what you're smart in, but there's still stuff you don't know. And we're learning as we go along. I think that's the biggest message. So give ourselves grace. We make mistakes, we overlook things, we discount things, we unintentionally cause harm. For those of us that are intentionally causing harm, that's a whole different ballgame. And even if they are intentionally causing harm, they learned that from somewhere. Okay. So that's the biggest thing. Growing up, coming out of our mother's wombs, we're not born evil. We're not born killers. We're not born molesters. We're not born rapists. We're not born thieves. We're not born gang members. We're not born criminals. We're not born manipulators. We're not born what's another one that's out there? Doing white collar, blue collar crimes. We're not born gaslighters. We're not born, what's that famous word everybody like to say, narcissists? We're not born that way. Okay? We are God's children. We're not born that way. We're born into that. We're born into this world. We're not born that way. We are seen and created perfectly in God's eyes. Okay? I've had to remember that. God has often had to remind me, you're not born that way. You're born into this and you learn that. It's a learned behavior. The lens that you have is shaped from a very early age. Actually, it's shaped as you're in the womb. It's shaped as you're in the womb. As your mom is experiencing what she's experiencing, it's impacting how you are developed. So you are shaped with that, but God plants you in your mom womb. So when God plants you in your mom's womb, you're not born that way. You're not born that way. You develop. So you got some things that happen with kids in development, but these traits that they pick up, these personality traits, that's learned behavior. It's nature versus nurture. Okay. Nature is how you were created. Okay. The things that were passed down to you from genes. But when you are born, there are certain things that you pick up. It's behavior. And because you pick it up, you can drop it, you can release it. That's the win. So, my biggest win that I wanted to say to y'all this week is that I have been releasing. I've been releasing left and right, y'all. I've been releasing. Some of it is harder than others. The current thing that I'm trying to release right now is I have an adult son. He just turned 22 yesterday. And I have a 17 and a half year old daughter. And y'all know how these teenage girls are. They be way more mature than guys. So she's 17 going on 30. Okay? 17 going on 30. But it is challenging as a parent of an adult son, adult child, and a soon to be adult daughter. And our dynamic is shifting, and it's been shifting, and I've been teaching them this throughout their life, and I've been being malleable and flexible and being able to shift as they shift and grow as they grow and develop more as a mom as they develop. and try not to keep a tight hold on them, and to give them freedom in discovering who they are and whatever identity they have and whatever career they want to be in, and whatever however they want to use their gifts. So I for the most part have been like, hey, be free in what you want to do, but I invest and I pour in, I speak life into them, right? But oh my goodness, when your kids get older, you think it get better as they get older. It is challenging. It is challenging because you are realizing as you are growing through this world and you're having your experiences. And once we get 26 for women, 28 for men, around that time, our brains is fully developed. Then you start being more aware of your choices, right? Because our frontal lobe is fully developed. Our executive function is there. You start being aware, like, oh, if I do this, it causes this. And if I would have did this, I could have prevented that. So once that started happening for me, I started being like, I need to protect my kids. I need to teach them this to prevent them from going through this as a way of protecting them. But man, what I have been learning as a mom with adult children, stubborn adult children, and soon to be adult children, because they are their mother and father's children. My children are stubborn. Their parents are stubborn. Well, I'm not as stubborn. I'm way more flexible. But they're a product of us nonetheless. And they've seen us travel along our journey. So as we're learning as parents, we're looking back and we're trying to teach our kids. They don't always want to listen. So give yourself grace, give them grace, give them some space to figure it out, because they do got to figure it out. And you got to remember, which I always have to, that I was once them. I was once them. And I didn't want to listen to my mama neither. That was the rub. I didn't want to listen to her neither. I thought I knew everything too. I thought it was different with me too. I thought I had all the answers as well. Okay, we all do. We all do. So that is what often keep me grounded. But it'd be hard because it'd be like, why won't you just listen? Why won't you just follow me? I'm trying to lead you out of this. I'm trying to prevent you from being harmed. I'm trying to prevent you from getting your heart broken. I'm trying to prevent you from being broke. I'm trying to just help you get a leg up in this world. Why you want to be poor? Why you want to be in poverty? I worked very hard not to be in poverty. I grew up in poverty. So I worked very hard to get to the next level, to learn all the things, to go to school, to gain all the knowledge, to get all the credentials so I can give my family a leg up in the world. And why do you want to go back there? Why do you want to struggle? That's the hardest part. The hardest part is releasing. So every time I find a way to release y'all, I'm celebrating, because it is so hard to let your kids be. Let them be. Let them explore. I'm big on letting them explore, but letting them be without you providing the safety net. I'm looking to my left because I don't know if I will ever not provide a safety net, because I'm a mom. I'm a mom, and dads can be like this too. I'm just speaking from my perspective because I'm a mom. So I have always been their safety net. So being there to soften the fall, I don't think I will ever not do that. But solving all their problems for them and not allowing them the opportunity to critically think for themselves, and strengthen that muscle in their brain and their ability to stick to things, to fall, to get up, to fall and get up, like they did when they were riding their tricycles and moving on to bicycles and taking the training wheels off. Like, I often have to remind myself, they got scrapes and bruises and they were okay. They're still alive. It hurt them and I wanted to keep them from hurting, but they were okay. And that's all growing up is. That's all becoming an adult is. You are learning as you go through it. You are growing as you go through it. You are strengthening your muscles. You're gaining new skills. You're broadening your horizon. You're expanding your mind. You are being open to all this world has to offer. And that is a part of the journey. And it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing too hard for God. It might be too hard for me, but there's nothing too hard for God. So what's been helping me release is releasing my control and trying to prevent and protect. What's been helping me release is that I'm like, okay, this is my role in their life and this is God's role in their life. So I only have what I have in my hand and my capacity. God got everything else. God got everything else. Because guess what? When my mama wasn't around, when I was in these streets late at night, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 6 o'clock, because we went to Denny's after the club, and walking in the middle of the alleyway at night on the way to a Yin Yang concert or something in Alaska. We were stationed in Alaska, walking through that alleyway with my girls when it was dark, and then a gunman walk up, and I seen him coming before he came, and I sensed before he walked over that he was bad news and something wasn't right, and he made a beeline right to us, and he robbed us right in that alleyway. My mama thousands of miles away. She couldn't help me. She couldn't help me. But as I looked him in his eyes and he looked me in my eyes, I know that wasn't nothing but God, that I'm still here. Right? Because it could have went all left. It could have went way worse. It was a terrifying situation. I never experienced it again. I stayed my butt out of alleys. Okay, stay my butt out of alleys. I just, the new job, our garage is connected by way of an alley, but it'd be like, alert, 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 right? But I went through that. And my mom wouldn't have wanted me to go through that. She would have tried to do everything to keep me safe from it. She is the mom that be like, okay, even though I'm 39, and she in here, even though I'm 39, my mom would smooth tell me, Michelle, you need to get your butt home. You need to get your butt home. It is dark outside. Get out your car. Stop sitting in your car. It is dark outside. I'd be like, Mom, I am okay. I am safe. I got all this stuff set up. I am safe. I am okay. Look, I'm talking to you. I'm safe. I do this all the time. I'm okay. Look at her. She in the chat. She just put something in the chat. That's her through and through. I am a smooth 39. And she be like, get out of here. Be over here. She will kick me out of her house when it get dark. When she used to live by herself and I lived in a different place, she would kick me out when it got dark. And I'm like, Mom, I'm just trying to chill. And she like stressing me out. She like, get out, get to the other side of town. Cause I live on the west side. She lived on the east side. It's dark. I'm like, Mom, it is fine. I'm okay. But that's her being the mom. She said, that's right, because then people come out at night. And she ain't never lying. That's why I don't party no more like that at the club. That's why I started Club Win, y'all. Because still like to have a good time. I like to celebrate. I like to turn up. I just don't be turning up like that anymore. And I find other ways to have fun, like Club Win, celebrating each other. And which I want y'all to get on here and celebrate, share y'all wins. My biggest win is that I've been releasing. I've been releasing. I'm gonna talk more about that, but I'm gonna pause. Do anybody else want to share their wins for the past 2 weeks? Anything that they want to highlight? Anything that they want to highlight? Come on board. Come on board. Share your wins. Share your wins. And if you're on the playback, which is all good, Fridays, busy as things happen. It's fall time. We got things, sports season has started. We got things going on. So if you're watching this on the playback, go ahead, put it in. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even see. Dr. Ninja, if you still here, I'm so sorry. Oh, he said I'm in a meeting. Okay. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I appreciate you. But yeah, put in the chat your wins. But yeah, we just got to give each other grace for all the things we've been through. All the things that we're growing through. We're growing through it, okay? And I'm gonna start saying that more and more. We're not going through it. We are going through it, but we're growing through it. I'm big on turning the words to make it more positive and being more optimistic. I'm a full-blown optimist, y'all. I have gotten a little bit more realistic over the years, but I'm a full-blown optimist. So I can always find a silver lining. I can always find the silver lining in any situation. Any situation. Even in my darkest of times, I still found some type of silver lining. That's how I didn't go too deep dark in it, even though I had moments. But it's important for you to flip that thing. Name it so you can change it. Be in it. It's okay to not be okay. So you ain't gotta ignore it. Feel your feelings, feel all your feelings, express it. Do what you need to do, express it in a healthy manner. But find a way to identify a silver lining. And that's what Club Win is about. Life get hard, y'all. Life get really hard. We all have different levels of hard, but all of us has experienced our versions of this life being hard. It can be a struggle, and at the same time, it can be beautiful. It can be beautiful. It can be joy happening in the midst of darkness, in the midst of the storm. Light is still shining through. The best analogy to connect with that is the day old saying. I'm trying to remember which one I want to say, but both of them. The sun still rise. The sun still rise. Darkness come every night, but the sun still rise. I lived in Alaska for almost 4 years, and in Alaska, you go through 6 months of the year where it's mostly dark year round, but it's not pitch black dark. It's like dusk dark, but it do get pitch black dark earlier than other places around the world. But it's like dusk dark. But guess what? Even in that season, the sun still came out. Okay, the sun still shine, and it is it's a, of course, brighter days in my head because I was jamming this morning to Kurt Franklin. My Friday dance session was turned. All of my old school 90s 2000 gospel music had me going. I meant to put that on Facebook and Instagram. I put it on LinkedIn, and gave a nice encouraging word to all these leaders out here to make sure they're leading with light, love, encouragement, and remember why we in this work that we're doing to uplift our brothers and sisters. But that word, that music that came through, listen to those words. Listen, if you don't do nothing else, if you can't find an inch of light and joy in you, you put on some good gospel music, some good worship music, and let them words speak to you, even if you don't believe it in the moment. I'm telling you, I can only say it because I lived it. Before I used to be a part of the worship team, I grew up when we were in church, a part of the youth choir and all of that. So I could sing it. I could sing worship. I could sing praises. I could sing it. But it's a whole different ballgame when you go through life and you go through life struggles and life journey, and life is kicking your butt every which way. You turn around, you get hit left and right. You don't know what it looks like on the other side of it, how long you're gonna be on this side of it, how long you're gonna be in this storm, treading the water, trying to survive. You don't know. But there is always light. There is always an answer. God is always giving us a way out. There is always light in the midst of the storm. There is always light peeking through the cloud. I literally just got a visual of the light peeking through the cloud after a storm. Sometimes in the midst of a storm. Y'all ever been outside and it was raining and the sun was still shining? It is the most beautiful depiction of what I'm speaking of. And when it is raining down struggles and raining down tears, the light is still shining on you. God is still shining on you. Okay? He is still working things out in your favor, even if you can't see it. Even if you can't see it. And I just spoke this a little earlier to my mom. God, man's rejection is God's protection. Okay? And that's in every which way. We experience rejection in every which way. And sometimes you feel rejected from your own family. Because let me tell you, honey, these doggone kids. These doggone kids. I done felt rejected from my former spouse. I done felt rejected from my kids. I done felt rejected growing up as a kid. I done from family, from friends, from classmates. I done felt rejected at jobs. I done felt rejected from partners, opportunities. Like the rejection is real, and it is a sucky feeling to feel rejection. That is a sucky feeling. But what I have learned in real life, I can only speak it. I can only speak it because I lived it. When you experience rejection, it is truly protection, God's protection. Okay. So you might feel like, what did I do? How can I have been better? I have been trying to fix myself from all the rejection that I've experienced throughout my life, for all the harm that was inflicted on me by other people, hurt and pain. Out of their hurt, they hurt me. Out of their trauma, they caused trauma in my life. I have been trying to fix myself as a result. And I know I'm not the only one in the world that have done that. How many of y'all out there have tried to fix yourself because someone else have spoken down to you, they've spoken negative about you, they have inflicted pain on you, they have told you, I did this to you because you didn't do this for me, I did this to you because you didn't look like this, I did this to you because you didn't give me this, I did not offer this to you because you were not this, you did not do this, you weren't good enough, you were too much, or you were not enough. I know I ain't the only person in the world that have experienced rejection. And again, it can come by way of your family, your friends, it can come by way of your spouse, your kids, work, these streets, opportunities. Rejection is one of the toughest things to overcome. One of the toughest things to overcome, because it has you start to look, it have you look inward. It causes you to look inward and start doing assessment, starting to check yourself, doing self-assessments. What is wrong with me? Why was I not invited? Why was I not included? Why was I blocked? Why wasn't I informed? Why was they chosen over me? Why did they get selected for this team over me? Why did they get selected for this committee, this board over me? Why did he choose her over me? Why did she choose him over me? Why did they pick this candidate over me? Why did it all fall through in the ninth hour? Why? I'm also the adult version of my kid that never stopped asking, my kid self that never stopped asking why. You start asking those questions, why, and what is wrong with me, and what did I do, and how could I have done better, and how can I prevent it from happening again? And that's when we start to be everything that we were never designed to be, and we lose our identity. Again, I can only speak to it because I lived it. And God has been slowly helping me bring myself back to center by identifying myself the way He identifies me, and not by how the world identifies me. Because the world will have you lost in the sauce, honey. Lost in the sauce. You'll be out here becoming everything that it was never meant for you to be, just to be accepted. Just to be accepted. Just to recover from the one or many times you've been rejected. It is nothing wrong with you. I'm going to tell you, like, I have been getting told through God, by God, through people, there's nothing wrong with you. You were made in the perfect image of God. Okay? There is nothing wrong with you. There are things that happen to you that have altered how you view the world, and how you show up in relationships, and how you go through life, and how you see things, and how you respond or react to things. And if you will or will not go for things, if you operate out of fear or operate out of faith, that has been taught to you. You were not born that way. Okay, going back to what I said before, you were not born that way. Those are things that you picked up from your experiences and what you were exposed to. It is not your identity. Okay, so just like we picked up these things and we adopted these things from a very early age, as we travel through this life, God will help us release it. And you will start to remember who you are in His eyes. And you will remember your true identity. And the best thing that I am experiencing in real time, and I'm getting a little emotional, but I'm not going to do it. But if I do, I'm going to do, because I did just say earlier, is why I struggle with expressing my emotions. Expressing my emotions, because I didn't really see women in my family crying and expressing their emotions in that way, like in a healthy way. We expect the women in my family, and it's where I got it from, they express their emotion through anger. Through anger, yelling and hitting. So I have learned to express verbally. I didn't always hit. I was more of the yeller. My mama here, she can tell you that. I did more like it bubble up and I roar. That's how she explained it, like a lion. It like it comes out. I'm way better. I'm way better. I know how to manage it now and express myself at a low level before it gets there. and I can effectively express my emotions. Oh, Miss V. Hey, Miss V. How you doing, honey? Happy Friday. Let's see. Miss V said, I've learned I've learned at this big age. I like when people say that. I've learned at this big age, if it's for me, it'll happen. That's right. It may not be in my timing, but it will happen when it's supposed to. I agree 1,000%. I agree 1,000%, Miss V. Thank you for that reminder. Yeah. Yeah. So it's okay. It's okay. And I'm living proof. And I know all of us, Miss V, she just said it. She's living proof. Thank God it's Friday. That's right, honey. This is my fan for the week, Miss V. Because I can't find my fans. I still ain't found it since we moved in this place. But this is a decor that was on my wall, my fall decor. It was on my wall and it fell on me this morning. So my daughter, she gonna secure it. She helped decorate the arch over my bed on my wall. So this is my fan. So this is me celebrating, me releasing my expectations on myself to be perfect and to get it all right and to figure it all out and to carry all this responsibility that I've been carrying and beat myself up for not knowing what I didn't know I needed to know when I thought I needed to know it. I didn't know it, and it's okay. I wasn't ready for it then. I didn't have the capacity to hold it then, and I didn't have the access to it then. So I released that expectation off of me. I released the expectation of having it all together to be accepted. Because that's why I've been going at fast pace, rapid. Y'all know me on the YouTube streets. My mama know me in real life. And she'll tell you I'm an overachiever, and I've been that way since I was younger. And it's always wanting to learn more and do more and grow more and learn all the things so I can improve the state of the world, first of all, improve the state of my family, right? Because I expressed earlier, you can play back all the things I expressed about my family. My first inclination and desire to improve anything and anyone, it was my family, because it was a lot of struggle, a lot of substance abuse, a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of things that was happening. And so I wanted to learn all the things so I can help my family be better. I can help them be happier. I can help them not hurt one another anymore. And then that just has grown so much to want to help people live longer, at an early age. Then it was one to help people in the community, growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, and seeing the neighborhoods. Now it's one to help people all around the world, around the nation. Now it's globally. So want to help. So I got to learn more. I got to do more. I got to do it quicker. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, and blah blah blah. And why am I not accepted here? Why I got all these degrees and I'm still not invited here. I got all these degrees and I'm still missing out on these opportunities. I got all this experience and this knowledge. I'm doing all the things they say I'm supposed to do, and I'm still not being invited to the table. But yet I have the knowledge, and they come to me and they want the insight information. They want the knowledge. I share it freely because I want to be a part of helping. And guess what? Door closed, window shut. I'm still not invited to the table. They using my ideas. They using my insight. They using my experience. They getting the accolades. They getting praises. They getting reports. They getting awards. I like awards. I was an athlete. I love awards. I love to get celebrated. No recognition. No recognition. That was hard, y'all. That was a hard season. I'm not in there no more. That was a hard season. That was my earlier 30s. 30 through 35. Closer to 35 though. Yeah, that was tough. That was like 33 to 35, really. That was tough, y'all. That type of rejection, when you are freely giving of yourself and sharing and contributing because you just want to help, and you're doing things out the kindness of your heart, and God dropping these ideas in you, and you're sharing it out so you can help, and then people take your idea and run with it and take credit for it themselves. And then they get all the accolades, all the recognition. And then you sitting here like, that ain't them, that's me. They ain't even know that. And I know I'm good enough to be at this table with y'all because you come to me for the information. So what's wrong with me that I'm not at this table? What do I need to do to be at this table? Because I know I got the heart for humanity. I know I lived through this. Y'all ain't even from here. Y'all didn't live through this. But y'all speaking on something because y'all got it from somebody who did, but y'all are getting the record. Boy, I tell you, that told me up. My mama used to hear me fuss about that thing. It told me up. But what I have learned, and I thank God for this, is that man's rejection is God's protection. And they can get all these accolades on earth because guess what I want to hear? Y'all know what I'm about to say. When I see him and look him in his face, I don't know if I'm looking him in his face. I don't know how I work on the other side of heaven, on that side of heaven. But to hear job well done. And I don't even have to wait because I receive it here on earth. I'm already getting a job well done. I'm already getting it. And that's enough for me. I am to the point where I don't need to be celebrated with awards and recognition. If I get it, that's nice. But guess what? I celebrate myself. Hello, Club Win. Hello, Club Win. I celebrate myself, Club Win. This is why we do this. We got to celebrate ourselves in the hard times. We got to celebrate ourselves. We got to make our own, create our own, and celebrate ourselves. We don't need to wait for other people to celebrate us. We deserve it. We don't have to be perfect to be celebrated. We don't have to have it all figured out and together to be celebrated. We deserve to be celebrated. So if not us, then who? We gonna celebrate ourselves. If not them, then who? If not now, then when? We celebrating now. We celebrating every day. Find something to celebrate. It is something in your day that you can celebrate. I did not haul off and knock them out when they disrespected me. That deserves a freaking celebration. That actually deserves you to pop off a confetti cannon, especially if you were somebody that was quick to anger and quick to swing or quick to cuss somebody out. And I told you I come from that family. So all three of that was true for me. Now, I wasn't like that in the workplace, but in them streets I was. It was, I wish somebody would. But I became that way. That's not who I was. It was something I picked up along the way. But I have let that go. I've released that. And I am in my new identity. But I know that still me. We actually, my mama, we was just talking about that yesterday. I wish she would get on here. We was just talking about that yesterday on the couch. And I was expressing my frustration a little bit at my new job. But I thank God because I went through what I went through. So I know how to navigate it this time. Okay? Because I told y'all, everybody, y'all know this, everybody personality don't gel with one another. And we spend the majority of our time at work with these people. And you got to be in these shared spaces, whether you in cubicles or offices or departments, clinics, whatever it is. You got to be in shared space with people who might detest you. They might disrespect you. They may disagree with you. They may dog you and downplay you and try to throw you under the bus or manipulate a situation or get you caught up in some mess. And all you doing is going there and trying to do your job and trying to help them accomplish their mission and help these clients or patients you're trying to serve and just trying to do good work. And people are targeting you. Okay, I've experienced that as well. And you like, I don't even deserve this. And you questioning things and distraught and you in a toxic work environment. We had a whole conversation of why I use the word toxic work environment. But toxic work cultures is real, y'all. It's real. And I know I ain't the only one that have experienced it. But I thank God I now can look back and say, you know, I thank God that I experienced it when I did. Because now I'm at another level. And as you go up, like my mom often say, new level, new devil. You go up to, you get up in these levels, you get higher and you have more experiences. The target is just bigger on your back. And I now know how to not only bridle my tongue because I knew how to bridle it in certain spaces, especially at work. But I didn't know how to release it from me. So I carried it. I carried how they treated me. I carried the rejection that I experienced. I carried the words that they said. I carried how they viewed me and the identity they tried to put on me. I carried the stereotype, the angry Black woman stereotype. Even though I was not, they were just mirroring to me. They were projecting onto me what they really were. We experience that a lot in these workplaces, and we don't deserve it. We don't deserve it. And so I carried that with me a lot until I wind up having a mental breakdown as a result of that and what was happening in my personal life. But both of those things that were happening simultaneously were rejection, were harmful, was traumatic. And that compounding stress on both ends happening all at one time, and me not being equipped with the skills and tools I have now today, 3 years later, actually 4 years later, because all that went to crapshoot in 2021. 4 years later, I am now equipped with all the not all the information I have right now, because as we go through life, we're still acquiring more knowledge and more wisdom. But hey, honey, look at her, my daughter Shelly. You want this club win? I'm on club win. You want to tell them a win you got this week? You want to tell them a win you got this week? Come tell them a win. She just came back from the football game. You got to win. She was sick, and she's not sick anymore. Yeah. But tell them another win. What's the win for you? Well, how about them grades? Yeah, that too. Tell them. This almost 18-year-old I was talking to y'all about. She tired. She tired after coming from a football game, y'all. Anyway, I'll tell you. You want me to tell them? You tell them. I want you to tell them. I be want my kids to get on here and tell y'all they wins. Just tell them really quick. Okay. She might come in here. I won't tell it. Yeah, she too much, Mom. She too much. My mom put that in the chat. This is her granddaughter. So yeah, my daughter's too much. She is too much. She extra. She is so dramatic. Like, come here and tell these people your wins. This is Club Win, okay? All we do is win, win, win. She got great wins, and her grades is a big win. It's not a small win. It's a big win for her, because she's one of my kids who do not like and did not like school. She has struggled. She didn't know that she had ADHD. I didn't 100% know. I had an inkling. But she has struggled with school for a very long time. She likes school for the socializing, not really to struggle with the studies for certain classes. Hey, Mom. Hey, 7057 Journey. Hey, girl. Hey. But she struggled with school from a very early age. And I noticed it when she was in my kindergarten class. And I noticed that when she would write her name backwards, and when she struggled to read and comprehend what she was reading. And I was tough on her. I didn't have all my patience then. And because I was her mom and I knew how to read and I knew how to write, it was like, why don't my daughter know how to read and write? You supposed to know how to do this. So come on, you know how to do this. I know how to do this. You know how to do this. And I did not know that at that moment, for a very long time, it implanted in her brain in kindergarten that I have to act like I know what I don't know, so my mom won't be upset and disappointed with me. I didn't even know that. It wasn't until years later. And because I didn't always have patience when she would do her homework and I would yell. I didn't hit her. I hit my son more. Um, but I would yell. I was that mom that they make videos about now. When your kid, where you be like, when little Timmy got 5 apples and he gives 2 away, how many apples do little Timmy got left? And they be like, 5. And I'd be like, little Timmy had 5 apples. That was me. I was that mom. I was that mom. And I would yell more than hit, because I'm like, okay, don't hit them, because they ain't gonna help them. But I would yell, and that was still terrifying. It still terrified kids. So parents out there, if y'all do that, stop doing that to y'all kids, because y'all are giving them a complex and y'all are not helping them, y'all hurting them. So learn to manage your emotions, because that's why you're yelling, because you don't know how to manage your emotions yet. Manage your emotions as a parent so you can help your kids. It does not help your kids if you're yelling at them when they're not understanding. If they're not understanding, that should be a trigger to you, that it's a reason why they're not understanding. Maybe they have a different learning style, which a lot of kids do now. A lot of kids are growing up with technology at their fingertips. So their learning style is different, and it does not align with this old school way of teaching that they have, and this stupid Common Core math that they have, and the fact that they're teaching these kids just to pass these tests. All of it is stupid. The whole school system need to be revamped. I'm not going to get on my soapbox. I'm going to leave that there. But I'm just going to say, parents, give your kids grace and realize they don't know what they don't know. Just like you don't know what you don't know. So if you still learning things as parents and your brain is fully developed and you've been on this earth longer than your kids, don't you think your kids don't know? And I told my kids, once I did get better at having patience and understanding this, and I apologized over and over again and start modeling better what it looks like to be patient with kids and teach them based on their learning style and teach kids how to know their learning style. I tell my kids, you got to learn. Your number one job is to learn how you learn. That's your number one job. Because if you learn how you learn, you can learn anything. You can learn anything. I've been teaching my kids that since they was little. So over the years, I have taught them that and she's gotten better. But it was one thing I was going to say that dang, it just escaped me. It was something about the learning styles. It'll come back. If it's meant to come back, it'll come back. But all these kids got different learning styles. And our school system isn't set up, and it's the parents' job to teach the kids to pay attention to our kids. And I know some of us don't have the privilege to have all the time in the world to sit with our kids. But if we got time to scroll after a long day of work, we got some type of time. And I know the last thing we want to do is deal with our kids and their schoolwork. But we brought them into this world, and it's our responsibility to help them because we know these teachers are overwhelmed. It's 30 plus kids to a teacher. These kids got all different type of learning styles. These teachers they got so much pressure on them to get these kids passing these tests, to get them this information. Some teachers don't care. Okay. It is good and bad teachers. Ain't nobody perfect. It is good and bad teachers out there. But you have all this up against your kid. Your kids are in there with all this buffoonery that's happening. They need some extra support. Okay. So you got to give them some extra support and you got to be patient with these kids. Stop hauling off. I know we were taught to do this, but it's not right. Just because you learned to do this, it don't mean it's the right way to be. So women and men, if you are parents, your job is to teach your kids. Your job is to model positive behaviors, healthy behaviors to these kids. And if you hauling off, smacking your kids across their head and yelling at them because they don't understand what they don't know, you are inflicting trauma on your kids, and it is abuse. You are traumatizing your kids, and it does not help them. And when they get into school, they will be afraid to ask for help. And when they're struggling, they will be afraid to ask you for help. And your kids should be able to come to you when they're struggling. So you are causing a divide in your kids, and you're building and causing your kids not to trust you. And you as the parent should be the number one person these kids can trust. So I know it may have been done to you and you think it worked for you, but it does not work because look at you. You struggle with managing your emotions. And again, it's no judgment. I'm speaking from experience. I was also that parent until I was exposed to another way of teaching and learning styles and parenting. And most importantly, managing my emotions. Okay. So if you've been hit throughout your life and yelled at and cussed at and called stupid and belittled by your parents or your grandparents or whoever raised you, and you think that's how you go through life and you talk to other people, no, babes. That's toxic behavior. And again, it wasn't your fault that you went through it, but it is absolutely your responsibility to heal from it. And I know if you in these YouTube streets and if you on these social media channels, you have heard that saying. We weren't born this way. We were born into it. We learned things. Things were done to us. We were exposed to things throughout our life. It was not our fault. We had no control of it. We had no control of it, y'all. We were kids when these things happened to us. We were kids. But as you grow up in life and you start having power over yourself and your choices, you have to realize that you are responsible for how you go through this world and how you treat other people. So it was not your fault that happened to you when you were a kid, but it's absolutely your responsibility when you become old enough as an adult to do better, to heal, to learn from their mistakes. It wasn't your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal from it when you become an adult, okay? So stop causing harm and pain to these kids, y'all, because y'all see what this world is coming to. And guess why these grown adult kids are the way they are? is because what their parents did to them and what their parents' did to their parents. It's a generational cycle, y'all. And we causing generational trauma. And people are out here dying and sick and unhealthy and in pain and depressed and taking their lives because of the pain that we have been inflicting on one another. Out of the pain that was inflicted on us, y'all. This is still Club Win, but let me tell you something. We got to, and I know that ain't proper English, but I'm gonna say it, we got to realize that all this pain and destruction we seeing in this world, we're doing this to one another. We are doing this to one another, y'all. We're doing this. We can't be looking around waiting for somebody else to fix it. We are doing this, so we have to fix it. We have to fix it. All the death in this world, all the homelessness, all the poverty, all the child hunger, all the destruction, all the disease, humans are creating it. So if humans create it, humans can fix it. Okay? God gives us the freedom. We have full access. We don't want God help. We want to do it on our own. Look how we destroying this earth that he gave us. Look how we destroying it, y'all. We are doing this to each other. We're inflicting trauma. We are raising up these generations. These generations are struggling to manage their emotions. They have access to all these guns. Listen, when we were younger and the generations before me, they didn't have access to all these weapons. It was violence that existed. It was drugs that existed. It was depression. It was incest. It was molestation. It was rape. It was abuse. All that stuff existed before, right? The difference is they got access to automatic weapons that they can pull a trigger from up close or from a far away distance. You won't see it coming. They have access to things that allow them to take out their frustrations and their unmanaged and uncontrolled emotions and unhealed traumas out like in a split second. Because remember, kids' brain isn't developed until they're 26 to 28, depending on what they went through in their life and their gender. Okay? And they have all this access to all these things that is destroying themselves and destroying one another. This vaping, cigarettes, drugs, guns. They can have access to it, but their brains aren't fully developed. The part of their brain that isn't fully developed, y'all, is the frontal lobe. That's where you have your problem solving skills in your frontal lobe. That's where you have your executive function in your frontal lobe. That's where you can assess, if I make this decision, is it going to be a good or bad outcome? It's not fully developed until we're 26, 28, y'all. And look at the age where all this stuff is happening. It's with these young folks because they have irrational thinking. So they need guidance. They are unstable because of all the access that they have and because of the pain and hurt that was inflicted on them by way of their parents, by way of their peers. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. We sitting around here like, what's wrong with these kids? Why is this happening? I can't believe it. And everybody pointing fingers, but everybody not realizing that everybody is influencing it. We all have the power to change it because we are creating it. And you know that old saying, you point that finger, how many fingers pointing back at you? All of us, we're all a part of the problem. Therefore, we're all a part of the solution. And God has given us out. He always gives us out. And that is the win topic for today. We are releasing this stuff that do not belong to us. We're no longer going through this world creating trauma out of the trauma that we have picked up along our journey. We got to release that trauma, y'all. We got to break free because we are inflicting pain and we're causing these generational cycles of trauma. Trauma, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, as somebody who had a mental health breakdown and had my brain altered as a result, for those of y'all that don't know how the brain works, your brain is constantly growing and developing. It's not that old school teaching that they used to teach. Medicine is always growing and developing because nobody knows all except for God. God is the only being that knows all from beginning to end. Okay. So medicine don't know everything. And I know that being in healthcare for almost 20 years on and off since the age of 18. Folks in the healthcare industry don't know everything. They don't know everything, y'all. They only know what they know. Just like us, we only know what we know. Public health professionals, practitioners, which I also am, full time now, I was part time. Public health practitioners, they only know what they know, y'all, because guess what? Guess who behind all these titles? Guess who behind all of these systems? Guess who's behind all these big names and these corporations and these industries and these foundations? All these cures, all of this training, all of these government officials. Guess who behind all of this stuff, y'all? They're humans. They're humans. And they're still learning. They're still growing. They don't know all. So we got to stop putting people in God's space, on God's pedestal. And God don't even need to be propped up. Okay. God is. God is. He was then, he's today, he's tomorrow, he's forevermore. Whether you want to recognize it or not, God is God, y'all. Humans are humans. Humans are flawed. Humans are limited. We have a limited capacity. We only know what we know. We only know what God has revealed to us up until this point. But what I will tell y'all, if y'all not paying attention, all of this destruction that y'all see, and I'm not one of them Christians that talk about the end of times. That's not me. I'm talking about what you actually see. What do you see? You see all this death and destruction. We are causing it. We're causing it. It's not God's fault. And I know I have also been the human that say, God, why ain't you going to do anything? Why are you letting this happen? Why are you letting this happen? If it's all in your hands, if we your kids and you love it, why are you allowing this to happen? And you know what the response was? I'm not doing this to you. I'm not doing this to y'all. I don't want this for y'all. Y'all are my children. I love y'all. I have beauty. I have peace. I have joy. I have light. I have unity. I have prosperity. I don't have poverty for y'all. I don't have homelessness for y'all. I don't have child hunger for y'all. I did not give y'all abuse. I didn't create this. I don't want this for y'all. I'm hurting for y'all as much as y'all hurt for y'all, if not more, because I know what I have for each one of y'all. I know my plans I have for you. Jeremiah 21:11. Hey, I finally remember the scripture other than John 3:16. Jeremiah 29:11. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Fact check me. Okay. Hey, Kitty K all day, babe. God know the plans he has for us. That's the answer. I don't want this for y'all because I told y'all I am the adult version of my kid self that never stop asking why. I asked God why. Why? Why, God? Because I got a big heart. I often have sat in my living room crying, pouring it out. Why is this happening? Why is there so much death and destruction and hunger and abuse and human trafficking and child molestation and drugs and gun? Why? Why are these kids dying so early? Why is life being taken before its time? God's like, I did not want this for you all. I am up here trying to help y'all, and y'all are turning me away. Y'all want profit more than y'all want me. Y'all want to be put up on a pedestal more than y'all want me. Y'all want to be recognized more than y'all want me. Y'all want to be Instagram famous. Y'all want to be social media stars more than y'all want me. I'm here waiting for y'all to help. I'm here waiting for y'all to help. Y'all not coming for me. Y'all coming for these quick things. Y'all, it's greed that's killing us, y'all. It's greed. It's anger. It's trauma. It's profit. We are doing this to each other. It's not God. So for all of y'all out there that say, if God was real, this wouldn't be happening. I get it. I've asked the same thing. And I've been a Christian since I was a little girl. But as an adult going through life and as a little kid going through life, but as an adult, I actually asked. Terrified at times to ask, but I asked. And it was no yelling, how dare you ask me that? It was none of that. It was just, I don't want this for you. It was like a loving father. And not all of us had loving parents and loving fathers. So we do view God out of that lens. whatever parent figure we had in our life, or if we didn't have a parent figure at all, absentee parent figure, that's how we view God. So if all we know is tumultuous relationships and turmoil and trauma and abuse and negativity and manipulation and harm, that's how we're going to view God. And that's why we run away from the very help that he's trying to give. We run away from the very protection that he offers. We run away from the very love and joy and light and beauty that he is here to give us. I can only speak to this, y'all, because that was also me. It was me. I've been on a 4-year journey, y'all. 4-year journey of healing my identity, how I view the world, how I view other people, and why they do what they do. I've been trying to figure out that since I was a little kid. I told you I was observant. Why is my family like that? Why do they hurt each other? Why do they beat each other? Why do they inflict pain? Why are they sad? Why? Why? Why are they drinking? Why are they smoking? Why are they fighting each other? And God's been showing me throughout my life. They're sad because they're searching, because somebody hurt them. They're angry because they don't know how to process their emotions, because somebody hurt them. And the people that raised them didn't know how to process their emotions. They're drinking and drugging because somebody hurt them. And they're sad and they're lonely and they don't know how to process what happened to them. God's been teaching me this. He's been showing me this since I was a little girl. It wasn't always verbally, y'all. It wasn't like, Michelle, here's what's happening. It was the answer would come to me by way of education, by way of what I seen, by way of what I picked up and learned. The answer was there. This is why this is happening. But what did come to me as an adult, when I was journaling in the middle of the night when I was crying, it was very clear and vivid. I heard it, a peaceful, still voice. I don't want this for y'all. I'm not hurting y'all. I'm not doing this to y'all. This is caused by greed and pride, trauma, generational cycle, not generational curses, y'all, because Jesus already came to break the curses. We're already set free. We're not in bondage. The bondage we're in is the bondage we put ourselves in. We've already been set free. Jesus came to set the captives free. That was us. We were captive. We were captive. He came to set us free. So we're already free. We're not in generational curses. Curses has been removed from us. We're in generational cycles. We're repeating what we have been taught. And so this club win session, the theme is release. That's our win, y'all. Take that with y'all. Release everything that do not belong to you. What they did to you does not belong to you. The identity that they put on you does not belong to you. That doubt that they instilled in you, that fear they instilled in you, does not belong to you. The poverty mindset, the prideful mindset, the profit mindset does not belong to you. It don't belong to you. The selfishness, the inconsiderateness, I don't even know that's a word, y'all. Just being inconsiderate, self-absorbed, self-assumed, manipulation, narcissism, whatever you want to say, it does not belong to you. Come on. Thank God for that grace. God already broke it. He came down because he seen we were struggling. His promise, that rainbow, I know what they try to make it be. That rainbow is God's promise to us that he would never again wipe out mankind because they were not listening. And he himself has been trying to show us through love, through patience, through kindness, and only the patience and kindness he can give. Because listen, these kids be on my nerve, honey. And I'd be like, oh, Lord, get your kids. And I'd be like, his kids. I'd be like, Lord, get your kids. These your kids. And they up here cutting the rug. And I'm talking about grown adults. They up here cutting the rug. They causing harm to one another. They disrespecting one another. We here to take care of these patients. We here to take care of these patrons. And they are just so nasty and disrespectful to these patients. Why are they in this field? Get out this field if you ain't got no patience. Get out these field if you don't have patience for patients. Okay? I'm no longer in healthcare. I'm in public health full time, but for all my healthcare workers out there, if you're working with people that are nasty like this, or if you yourself are nasty, go get the help you need and release that thing, because these patients don't deserve it. And you are the reason why their health outcomes are the way they are. You're contributing to that. You are a contributing factor, because you make it so much so that the environment and atmosphere is nasty in the health center that they're going to, or in the hospital, and you make them feel unseen. You make them feel less than human. You make them feel like they're next to nothing because the color of their skin, or because you just don't want to deal with humans that day. And now they don't trust healthcare. They don't come get the help they need. They're afraid to ask questions. That is my pet peeve, y'all. Horrible customer service is my pet peeve. If you don't want to do this job and do this job well, even if you got to fake the funk and put a smile on your face, you need to go on, be behind somebody's computer and be on some numbers. Because if you interface with people, you need to be a little bit better at being a people person. Because we don't deserve that when we come to get services. We are paying. If we don't come to get these services, you know you out of a job. You know you out of a job. Why you sitting there mistreating people? This is for all y'all that work with people who are nasty. Y'all can show them this part. Get to this part of the clip. I don't even know where we at with time. Get to the 1 hour and 20 minutes probably is when I start going off on my tangent. If you cannot lead with love, empathy, and kindness, and you are serving people, get out that field and go be behind a computer and be with some numbers. And if you can't handle be behind some numbers, go get yourself healed. Go get yourself some help. Go get yourself some counseling. Start journaling. Figure it out, but stop hurting people out of your hurt. Because when we come get these services, we are coming to get help. Okay? When people come to healthcare, to public health, to social services, like to get their benefits that they pay into, you government workers, whoo child, it is my pet peeve. I can't stand it because I have the heart for humanity. And I don't like how people treat people. And God know it. It has been my pet peeve since I was a little girl. Anytime I yelled at family members and I bucked up and I got into fights, it was because I was protecting other people that were being harmed by people. And I am still that way as an adult. I am the adult version of my little kid self, y'all. I can't stand it. And you know who else couldn't stand it? Jesus. Jesus came through and flipped them tables. You out here stealing from the people. You out here abusing these people. This is not what my church is supposed to be for. This is not what y'all supposed to be doing to y'all, the heads of the church. Y'all up here hurting these people, stealing from these people. And this ain't just church. This is all these industries, y'all. All these people out here hurting people. Stop hurting people. Go get yourself some help. I'm sick of it. Enough is enough. Go get yourself some help. Stop hurting each other. Now, it's not easy, okay? Facing yourself, facing your fears, facing the uncomfortable emotions, facing all that was done to you. It is uncomfortable and it is a journey. It is a process. I was just crying this morning. I was married to a recovering alcoholic. It is hard. I grew up in a family who struggled with substance abuse. It is very hard, and you are in so much pain, and trauma is inflicted on you. But what I work really hard to do is not to inflict pain on others, because I was hurting. And when I realized I was doing it because I had a shorter temper, I worked to fix it. I worked to improve it, because they didn't deserve that. They didn't cut me. So why am I bleeding on them? They didn't do that to me. They didn't deserve that. And when I do realize I have hurt somebody, I am quick to apologize. I'm quick to have that conversation, and I'm quick to explain where it came from. I'm sorry, you did not deserve that. Yes, ma'am, these curses are broken. You didn't deserve that. And y'all got to get some coof about yourself, okay? It is not okay for us to be out here hurting each other, no matter what was done to you. We was watching an episode the other day, and it was an episode of a man who had HIV, and he was going around sleeping with women and not telling them that he had HIV. And when the men checked him on that, men check men, women check women, correct each other. It is up to us. We are supposed to correct each other in love. It's unacceptable to be out here hurting people. When they checked that brother on that, guess what that brother responded by saying? the truth. Why should I tell them? That woman that did this to me, she ain't tell me. He was out here hurting people and killing people with HIV and what HIV. You can live longer, but still inflicting people. You alter somebody, the course of somebody's life. Back in the day when they ain't had him treatments, he would have been killing people and he would have been under the jail. Manslaughter. Okay? Aggravated murder, attempted murder, whatever the charge would be. Out of his hurt, because somebody hurt him, he was hurting somebody else. No. No. Somebody hurt you, go get some help. So you ain't spreading this like a disease, like a poison. It is toxic and it permeates through our workplaces. How many of y'all out there work in workspaces? If y'all are actually working in workspaces and not, y'all don't have the like, how am I saying it? Some people got the privilege of working remote. I used to have that privilege. Other folks who don't have that job that allow them to be hybrid or work full-time remote, you actually got to share a workspace with people. How many of y'all got to share a workspace with people? Or some of y'all who even work remote, you might have douchebag bosses too and have a toxic work environment too, but it's remote. But when you remote, you ain't always on the camera, so you can turn it off and you ain't picking up their energy in person. You can shut it off and get a break. When you up in person with these jokers, it's a whole different ballgame. How many out there either are working in toxic environments or used to work in a toxic environment? And how did y'all handle it? How did y'all navigate through it? How did y'all work in that environment with negative, toxic people and not let it poison you? How did you stay in that environment for 8+ hours a day and not become your surroundings? Because environment influences more of our behavior and our mindset, like I've been talking about this whole time, more than your genetics. Research has been out there about it. Because back in the day, it was all about your mom and your father got it, you got it. They experienced it, your family bloodline, they got it, you got it. No, research has proven that's a smaller percentage, a way smaller percentage. What overwhelmingly influence how people turn out and if they're going to live well or not, and if they're going to become this or not, and if they are going to live in poverty or live in prosperity, to live longer or to live shorter, it is the environment that they live in and that they work, play in. So the majority of your life that you spend in these environments and you spend around these people, that is a determining factor of how you view the world and how you walk through this life. So how have y'all been able to navigate these spaces without that toxicity bleeding onto y'all? Kenny K say, that's why I continue to work remotely to, wait, this sign is there, so I can't see it. Oh, protecting my peace. Hashtag peace. Yes. Yes. That's why some people prefer to work remotely. I will tell you, I work remotely and it was great at first, but I'm a people person. So I'm a super extrovert and I'm a people person and I get energized by people. I love interacting with people. I love learning people origin stories. It is my pastime. I love meeting somebody I don't know and learning about them. It fuels me. I love connecting with people I don't know. I love connecting, seeing how I don't know you. We come from different backgrounds, potentially, or similar. We may or may not look the same. We may or may not have shared experiences, but I want to know what I don't know. What was your life experience like? I love people origin stories. It all ties into just how I've been. It's how I'm wired. I love learning origin stories. I like to see where we got some commonalities and be fascinated about our differences and learn your outlook, your experiences, and add to mine. I love that. Some people don't like that. Some people are super introvert. So I have been around over the past couple of years. I've been around people who say it very openly. I just came from managing a clinic. One of the doctors, hear me when I say this. One of the doctors said this. And I've had a boss that said this as well. I was leaving from this job, going to my current job. And we were sitting at the table and we were talking about my transition, and they were speaking great things. And the doctor, that she is extremely problematic, extremely toxic, very small-minded, very judgmental, think that she is the smartest thing on earth and everybody else is stupid if they don't think and solve problems like her. The worst person to be in healthcare. Worst person to be in healthcare. But she get accolades. She's great at doing her job, but the people part of it, the worst person you would want for a doctor or to lead people in healthcare or to work with on a team. Not a good team member at all. She said out her mouth when they say, "Oh, you should take this job. You should take this job." That Michelle is, I'm leaving from this job, start a new job. You should take this job. And she said out her mouth, that job is mostly people management, and I don't like people. I don't like people. So I don't want that job. I look at her and I look down at my food. And I didn't say anything because you do get to a point in your life when you realize every battle ain't worth fighting. I was leaving anyway, but I already knew this about her. So she wasn't revealing anything I know. I was just surprised she said it out her mouth in front of everybody else. Because this is what I've been trying to tell y'all. Not my staff, but leadership. Some people don't like people, but they're in jobs and roles where their job is to interface and help people. What the F kind of sense does that make? Get out of that role. Go be in research or something. You can still let your medical degree work for you. Go be somewhere else, but don't be in any, and not even research because that impact people. But go be somewhere where you ain't got to take people and the humankind into consideration when it comes to making decisions about your job that's going to impact people in their life. And if people are going to come get services from you or not, it doesn't make sense. It does make sense to me because people have to have a job to live, to earn. But yo, it ain't got to be this job. It ain't got to be in this field. If you are unhappy, go figure out what make you happy and stop being in places being miserable and making everybody else miserable around you. Nobody deserves that. I don't get that. And I do have some of that in this job that I'm in now. So I said all that to say, listen, you got to release that thing because I'm in this new job now and I know I'm supposed to be there. You ever know that God placed you there? This is your season, your time, your assignment. And he has something that he wants to do in this space through you. Now, of course, God is God. He can do it through anybody. It ain't got to be me. But I'm supposed to be here to learn something. And I'm also supposed to teach. I'm supposed to teach by modeling. Okay? And it's just the knowing that you have and the way it all played out. It fell into place. And I know I've been working towards it, but also God met me in this thing. And it just is like, and this system is a way bigger system I just came from. This is government, y'all. I'm in government. I was in healthcare. Now I'm in government. Full-time public health policy analyst. And I'm all in. I get excited about policy because like I told y'all, I like to solve the problems. I know why this is happening, but now I want to be a part of the solution. How can I link arms with other people who want to be a part of the solution? And let me tell y'all something, even if it's a whole bunch of toxic people in this world, it is always some amazing people. It's always some amazing people. I truly believe there are more amazing people in this world, good-hearted people in this world, good-intentioned people in this world, than there are evil people and mean people that have just let what happened to them overcome them. So much so they are the replica or worse than the person that did that to them. So I believe that. And I'm also an optimist. So that's how I go through life. That's the lens I operate through. Really quickly, Kendi K say, I work in person a few times a month. It works for me. I can see and be seen a few days in a work week. I know that's right. Hybrid. And that's good for folks that's like, okay, that's good for me. I peopled enough and now I got to go. And it's okay if you're an introvert. Me talking about people that need to go and not be with people are the people that's harming people. because of what happened to them. It's okay that you're an introvert. It's okay that you're omnivert. Omnivert is both. Like, they like to be by themselves and have their me time, have their peace, and they can also engage with people and enjoy it. But they're not all the way an extrovert like myself, and they're not all the way an introvert like other people. Um, as I get older, though, I do know, because the higher level I go, I do value when I have me some me time, but I can't have me time too long, because I do feel like I'm not doing enough to help humanity. I struggle with the resting thing, and knowing that I don't have to do it all, and knowing that I can't do it all, but I'm working that out with God, because he got the whole world in his hands. Remember that song? And I'm just to help. He shows himself through us. He manifests his greatness, his goodness, and his love through us. And so, as I left off saying, and like Kendi K said, the world is full of amazing people. Amazing people. You could be an omnivert. You could be. And you should look into it and see if that resonate with you. I grew up going through life knowing that it was extroverts and introverts. It wasn't until my 30s, probably early mid 30s, where I learned that term omnivert. And I understood it more. Again, another example of we learn as we grow and we go through this journey. But yeah, this world is more good that happens than bad. But because we have this 24 cycle of media at our fingertips now, we just see all the bad stuff, because they know that's what we're gonna click on. Because humans messy, messy humans, messy, and we like a little bit of that drama. Okay, a little bit of that drama. We want to know what's all the happenings, what's all the going ons, and we do not value or celebrate all the good stuff and goodness in people as much as we do all the negative stuff and the bad stuff that happened. And so, again, Club Win. We got to celebrate the great things that are happening, because it is so much light, it's so much joy, it's so much beauty that's happening in this world. And light drowns out what, y'all? It drowns out darkness. It drowns out darkness. Light, joy, hope drowns out hopelessness. I don't know why I couldn't figure out the opposite of hope. It drowns out feeling hopeless. Folks feeling hopeless. And the number one reason people leave here earlier than they're supposed to, than God desires for them to, is because they feel like there's no hope and it's never going to change. And it will change. It can change. By the grace of God, it will. And God is willing to work through all of us. We just got to be open to receive it. Get this worked on, y'all. I know we doing all this stuff to work on the outward, right? Also me. I like to look good. I like to have some quick results, okay? Because who got time? I don't. I don't have time to be in the gym all day long like I used to be in the 20s. I don't have time to do P90X insanity, go for 3-mile runs, and go to the gym on my lunch break. I ain't beasting it like I used to be in my 20s, okay? When I was in my 20s, my main priority was looking good when I was at the club to keep my ex-husband. Looking good and to party, and I wanted to wear stilettos. That was my priority. In my 30s, I ain't got time to be P90X, CrossFit, insanity, running, working out all day, my life being consumed with that. Because I'm trying to be a part of improving the state of the world during my time while I'm here. That's my desire. I wake up every day. Sometimes I have a hard time staying asleep, because I'm worried. And God's been helping me with that too. Like, I don't have to worry. Rest in me. Have my peace. I don't desire that for you. You do not have to stress out. Let me handle that. You do your part, but understand you only have limited capacity, because you're human. You're not me. I got it in my hands, and I can do your part through you, but you don't have to do it alone. So rest. Be easy. Okay? And I'm learning that. So hopefully I sleep better, because insomnia is a real thing. So if you stress and you struggle sleeping, give that stuff over to God. Let God worry about that. And because he said in the Bible, they say You're supposed to say back his words to him. So back to him is, God, you said. I'm gonna say rest easy, my yoke is light. Mine was them that scripture. I'm gonna say rest easy because that's my words. But it's something like rest in me, my yoke is light. Something heavy, sir. Like, yeah, rest your heavy burden. Whatever that is. We supposed to offload it to God. We ain't supposed to carry it all. But I have a great desire. I have a heart for the humanity, and I want this place to improve for all of us. It's not a selfish desire for me. I don't need accolades. I don't need to be praised for it. I just want to be a part. I want to link arms with good people who are doing great work to improve the state of this world, y'all. To improve the state of this world. We deserve to have all the things that God wanted for us, that God set here for us, that God wants for our kids and our nieces, our nephews, and the generate. Oh, by the way, we got other people coming into this world after us. Some we might see while we here, and some we might see on the other side of heaven. But yo, I don't want to leave them here with a horrible space where it's just death and destruction everywhere they look. We see so much death, and it's been an increase and an influx of death and destruction over my 39 years of life. Okay? Wars have existed since the beginning of time, even in the Bible days, right? But because we have access to all of it, it feels like it's nonstop. It feels like it's nonstop because we can see all of it. We got to do better as humans, y'all. We got to do better as humans and as God's children. Whether you believe in God or not, God still loves you and you are still God's child. And God sees you as God's child. And you should know you're God's child because the things we do up in these streets and we don't get caught up. And we don't get the consequences of our actions like we deserve to, like we earned. That's God's love, grace, his grace and mercy. So even if you don't believe, God still love you. God still got you. God still see, and God's still waiting. And the one thing I've been learning about God's character is God won't force himself in any space that he isn't welcome to. And the men and women of God call God a gentleman. I was like, I like that. God is a gentleman. He ain't gonna force himself on you. Now we here in human form, what do we know about men and people and beings forcing themselves on us? Now the devil forced himself. You give him a foothold, what they say, you give the devil a foothold, he up in there. God don't do that. He sit back like a gentleman and wait for you to invite him in. So he waited and he's here and he wants to help us. And he does still help us even when we don't want the help from him. And it's a saying like God helps us in a way that we can't help ourselves. So he knows we need him and we struggle and we lost and he'll send us help. It's up to us if we'll take it. And he don't need the credit. He don't be sitting back like, you ain't getting no help until I get some credit. Because you know that's how we do as humans. I'm just typing you key points, Michelle. I appreciate you, Candy K. I appreciate you. I really do. But he ain't forcing himself on us, but he is here to help us. He gave us this beautiful world and he gives us all type of things to prosper and enjoy this beautiful life. And we are destroying it. It's not God, y'all. That's the message. That's the message. And the reason why we're destroying it is because we're carrying around things that happen to us that God is trying to help us release. So you got to release it. You got to release it. You got to let it go. You got to let it go because you are destroying people in your path all along your journey. All along your journey. And those of you that are out there doing it, just know that all this has been said in love through God through me, because God speaks through all of us. You might not even realize God be using you as a vessel, but God speaks his love through all of us, okay? You get a little bit of my sauce, though, calling a spade, but it's all in love because it's about the love for his children and the love for humanity. And he wants us to stop destroying ourselves and each other. That's not why he created us. We're so divided. We are so hateful to one another. We're so divided. We're causing so much harm to one another. And that is not what God desires for us. He wants us to unify because guess what? When we get to heaven, we are unified. Don't care nothing about no skin color. Don't care nothing about no zip code you came from. Don't care nothing about your bank account, your little raggedy bank account on this earth. You don't care nothing about your accolades and your degrees. They say God is no respecter of person. That means he don't respect you more than this person or me because you are this color versus that color, or you are this religion versus that religion, or you have this socioeconomic status over that socioeconomic status, or because you have these degrees over that degrees, or because you can talk this way versus that way. He don't give two craps about that stuff. That is stuff that we created as humans. We weren't even supposed to be working this hard, y'all. That's a whole nother thing. We weren't supposed to be working this hard. We are working nonstop. He didn't design us to work this hard. We created these work systems, these profit systems, and we working hard. And if you in the United States of America, we working too doggone hard. Almost slipped up. We working too doggone hard. You look at these other countries and you look at our numbers, our health status, our health outcomes versus theirs, our life expectancy versus other countries. U.S. life expectancy is below and sometimes equivalent to undeveloped countries who don't have all this access and don't have all these resources because we are on this hamster wheel trying to prove, trying to get. We need more, we need more, we need more. This profit mentality, profit to get these little crumbs. These little crumbs they throwing out. If y'all break down our salary and I know y'all do this, break down y'all salary and y'all hourly wage compared to the amount of output, which you're getting in compared to the amount of energy and brain power and smarts that y'all putting out and what y'all getting back, y'all ain't getting a good ROI, return on investment. We will never be paid our full worth from humans, not from our bosses. I learned that in my mid-30s. They can never pay me my full worth. The only being that can pay me my full worth is God. They could never. They don't have endless resources. They have a cap on their budget. So they could never pay me what I'm fully worth. But we are in this profit model and we're constantly on this hamster wheel, y'all. Constantly on this hamster wheel. So we always grinding in the US of A. Always grinding. And we stressed out and we angry and we inflicting pain and the trauma and we killing each other and blah, blah, blah. Yo. And when you looking at other countries, I lived in other countries. I lived in South Korea. South Korea was the most peaceful, welcoming, unified, calm place I've ever lived. I cried when I had to leave there. I lived there 2 years. We're former military. My ex-husband served in the military. I served the military. That's what we say, spouses versus active members. So you serve in support of the military, you're serving, but those that enlist, they serve in the military. But being in that space, and we didn't live on base. We lived off base. I told my ex-husband I wanted to live in and experience South Korea. I wanted to live amongst the natives there in that country. And it is such a beautiful place. We lived in Pyeongtaek, South Korea. It is so calming. People are kind. They didn't treat me different because of the color of my skin or my hair texture. They didn't treat me different because the most thing they said is, you're American. They group all us together. Listen, for those of you in America, hey, hear me? Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. In other countries, they don't see us as color. They see us as American. They group all of us. You're American. They look at Americans differently. Not because I'm a Black American. They look at Americans differently. But they still treated me well. I still was included and invited. They introduced me to their culture and their language. I could speak Mandarin when I was over there conversationally, but I've lost it over the now 11 years since we've been back. We've been back since 2014 in the States. But it was beautiful. They were kind. They were welcoming. It was just great. They were inclusive. I did not feel like an outsider. And when I was over there, all I thought about was, I want to bring this back home. We deserve to experience life like this. My mom used to call me because during that time, the old whoever it was threatening us in North Korea. They were threatening the US, or they was threatening South Korea. And my mom would call me and she'd be like, Michelle, you see what's happening? You safe over there? What y'all doing? Because she stayed on the news. My mom used to watch the news cycle like 24 hours for real. And I'm like, Ma, I'm more safe over here than y'all over there in the US. Because guess what I don't see out here in these streets of South Korea? Ain't nobody walking around here with guns. Ain't nobody around here on the corner selling drugs. You don't see homelessness out there. They did have a red light district downtown area where it was like legal prostitution. So that was something that was not okay. But it was a community vibe. It wasn't people out in the streets, homeless and all that. And now it's still problems. Everybody got problems. But it wasn't like those community issues that plague the US where people are dying unnecessarily with things that could be prevented. We're dying in the US at high alarming rates from all different things across the board. It ain't just Black people, y'all. Although in many areas we die quicker and more than other people, and with different things that are happening, different health indicators, we die quicker and faster, and we have shorter life expectancy over others depending, right? But when you look at country to country, compare that, we have more resources over here than a lot of other countries. We have more healthcare industries than a lot of other countries, more research, more access, more income, just more. We just have so much here, but we're dying at alarming rates. Yeah, this has been my why since I was a little girl. And the more I learned, the more I'm like, this is ridiculous. The people at the top are ridiculous. They're being ridiculous. But then when you work in these systems, you also realize that toxicity, those toxic mindsets, all that, the pride, the greed, all that permeates through the workplace environment. And so the leadership breeds replicas of themselves. And now the workers are like that. And so these systems that we talk about, the systems is breeding these outputs, these health outcomes, these horrible health outcomes, is because it's the people inside the systems, whether it's nonprofit or for-profit, because let me tell you something, the most toxic people I've worked for, y'all give for-profit a bad name a lot, right? These for-profit people, they just for-profit. Nonprofits, y'all got to get it together, because y'all sitting up here pointing the finger, talking about how bad these for-profits is and they want this money, blah, blah, blah. And y'all think y'all better because y'all nonprofits and y'all doing good work, but y'all still causing harm. People are still dying at alarming rates that can be prevented. It doesn't matter if it's nonprofit or for-profit, so take that out your mind. What matters is the heart posture of the people leading and working in these systems. Okay? And I'm saying that from somebody who worked for-profit, worked for nonprofit, worked for government. It doesn't matter what industry I've been in. Humans are humans, okay? So try not to put all these buckets. We love to categorize things. We love to put people in buckets. No, there are people who are out here hurting people from the unhealed hurt. And that's what this is about. Release that unhealed hurt. Release that trauma. Release the toxic mindsets. It is here. Actually, it starts in your spirit. And that's why you need God. It starts in your spirit, because your spirit man on the inside informs how you think. And what's informing that? Your spirit? You getting characteristics from something. And it should be coming from the spirits of God. But a lot of what we're seeing out here in this world is not godly, y'all. And I'm not talking about, oh, you got to be holier than thou. I'm not talking about that because I'm not that. I'm talking about just stop hurting each other. That ain't holier than thou. I'm talking about just be kind to one another. Just be considerate of one another. Just share. Didn't they teach us in kindergarten sharing is caring? Why are we trying to keep it all for ourselves and we got all this homelessness out here? Sharing is caring. These brothers and sisters out here struggling. I'm not talking about you can donate somebody way out of homeless. It's a lot of reasons why people are homeless. They need help internally. They need help. They are out there because it got too much for them. Life got too hard for them. But hey, guess what, y'all? It could have been us because all of us go through struggles too. And it was just something in them that they struggled with that they didn't know where their help came from. And something caused a break in them. As someone, hey, it's me, as someone who also had a break mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, and financially, and intellectually, because when you go through trauma, like I said earlier, it shifts your brain in your processing center. And I literally saw spiritually, internally, the shrinking of my brain. Literally seen it. At one point in the hospital, I couldn't even write. I couldn't even speak clear sentences. My brain, my memory has shrunk. My short-term memory has shrunk. And I've been working over these past 4 years to expand it again because research, science has grown. There are ways to strengthen. Your brain cells is always regenerating. There are ways to strengthen what you have lost. Okay? I'm a living witness. I'm a testimony of it. Testimony of it. And I've documented my journey along the way. So these people out here, they need help. And if you put together all the things that I've said throughout our time together tonight in Club Win, you should be a little bit more understanding and empathetic of people that are different than you and people that are struggling. You should. We got to. It's time. It's past time. Enough is enough. I am tired of seeing babies die. I am tired of seeing mothers and fathers die. I am tired of seeing the youth die and they're hurting each other. I'm tired of seeing homelessness. I'm tired of seeing poverty. I'm tired of seeing kids starving. I am tired of the endless amount of cancer diagnosis, of autism and ADHD. We're causing this, y'all. We're creating this. We're doing this to one another. Let me tell you this little nugget. Okay, this is research. What is done to a mom when she's pregnant and before she's pregnant, if it's unhealed, it gets passed down to the baby during development. And that shapes their brain capacity. Okay? So all this ADHD we're having and autism and and everybody like, why are we seeing an influx of this in healthcare and in public health? Why are we seeing an influx of this? Well, I'm somebody that follow trends. Pay attention to the trends. We're seeing so much death and destruction and division. It is permeating through the mom in her womb to the baby, and the baby comes out with that development or lack thereof when they were in the womb. I've been studying this work for over 5 years now, infant maternal mortality work. Studying what's causing it. How can we fix it? What can we change? And one of the first things I learned in public health school, one of the first classes I took, is that it's passed down. Trauma is passed down from mom to baby, and trauma is passed down generation to generation. Connect the dots. Connect the dots. So when you see, oh, I'm struggling with what my mom was struggling with. We all got ADHD. We all got these addictive personalities. We're all more prone to this. That's generational. And then you add that generational was passed down to what you experience environmental. But it's all connected to what people are doing to people. And that's the message. It's what people are doing to people because they have not healed their unhealed trauma. They have not released what was done to them. So, y'all, I don't think I could say it any other way. My win has been that I have been walking with God these past 4 years. Actually, throughout my life, we all walk through God, whether we want to acknowledge him or not. But I have actually been acknowledging and not being afraid, because I told you I was diagnosed with OCD. Religious scrupulosity, you can look it up and you can understand. All OCD is fear-based. But I was fearful and afraid. And it was about, if I wasn't perfect, if I didn't do all the right things, that I wasn't gonna go to heaven. God was mad at me. My life was short, blah, blah, blah. I'll do another video on that. But it was torment. My mind was tormented. And that came as a result of a traumatic experience that I experienced. As an adult, that was compounded by the trauma that I experienced as a kid, being molested by my great uncle. And carrying it and not getting help for it. I was a kid, and just going through life like it didn't happen. I remember sitting in church forgiving him, hearing the pastor preach, telling us then to not let what people do to you stick to you. Don't let it control you. Don't go through life carrying what somebody else done to you out of their hurt, because you're their prisoner. I remember as a little girl in the pew listening to the pastor talk about that. I think it was Pastor McCafferty, or Pastor Caffey, Reverend Caffey, I should say. And as a little girl, I heard that and it resonated with me. And I forgave my great uncle for doing that to me. And throughout my life, that's how I walked. So I easily forgave people who inflicted harm on me, but so much so I wound up being people punching bags, literally and figuratively, in relationships. So as somebody who has experienced a lot of trauma, pain, hurt, abuse, manipulation, a lot of rejection, so much so that I had a mental break, my brain altered, major depressive disorder, PTSD, OCD, all as a result of trauma inflicted on by somebody else who had unhealed trauma. People, not one person, people. I'm telling you, if I didn't do the work to release that, I would have been hell on wheels out here in this world. You hear me? Hell on wheels. Everybody could have got it. But it's not in my nature. God ain't make me that way. He didn't make me that way. But I could have became that way if I didn't fight to get me back. Because I was a shell of myself. I could have let everything that was done to me turn me internally and harden my heart and change how I viewed the world, which it did somewhat. It did somewhat. And God has been helping me see everybody is not him. Everybody is not them. So God's been walking with me, helping me heal from what was done to me and reminding me I didn't deserve that. And there was nothing I could have did to have prevented that, because I've been trying to fix myself so I would never be in that situation again and find myself being choked out on a basement floor in the dark, pleading, not being able to breathe by somebody who you loved and who you believe loved you in the best way that he could. But we both grew up in toxic situations. And I worked on healing myself, and he turned to the bottle and partying and women. And he didn't know how to process. And I found myself married to my family, because that's the family that I grew up in. And it wasn't the first time that happened. I just put it out my mind, or maybe God took it away so I could deal with life. So I could have let all that happen to me, the trauma that was caused by people who should have loved me and who should have protected me and who should have kept me safe. I could have let that tear me up, and it could have been over. I could have been on the streets. I could have been with them. I could have been with the unhoused folks who also went through trauma that they didn't know how to come back from. And they just did the best they could. And they're operating in their own power. It is up to us. It is up to us to connect with our brothers and sisters and love on one another and uplift one another and empower one another and to help one another see that no matter how dark, how glim it is, there is light in the midst of your storm. There is joy in the midst of all that pain. There is peace in the midst of all of that fear and all of that worry and all of that anxiety. There is peace, and all of it comes from God. It is peace that passes your understanding. When I couldn't sleep and melatonin wasn't helping anymore, and the music wasn't helping, and the baths wasn't helping, and the journaling wasn't helping, and my mind was tormenting me, you know what helped me get to sleep and helped me get peace? And what helped me stop being afraid of God is when I finally had to surrender and say, God, please help me go to sleep. I got to go to work in the morning. I got to work. I'm tired. Please help me go to sleep. And when I say I'm tired, tears coming down I was tired of dealing with it. I was so close to giving up. I'll have to do a different video on that. So close to giving up. Because it's not just about not getting sleep. It's about my mind was being tormented. Like my brothers and sisters, our brothers and sisters in the street. Their mind was being tormented by what happened to them, by the trauma that happened to them. And their brain shifted into freeze mode. And they are stuck in the trauma that they went through. They're constantly reliving the trauma that they went through. Their brain is tormented by the trauma, by the past. That's what our brothers and sisters who are homeless are living with. And a lot of them are veterans. Speaking as an ex-spouse of a veteran who was with him his entire time he was in. I used to speak about this with the other military spouses while we were in there. When our husband would get deployed, mine got deployed to Afghanistan when we were in Alaska, and he got deployed with a unit that wasn't even his, and he was with Special Forces, and he was not a part of that unit. He was a mechanic. It was not his unit. It was not, I think it was a part of his platoon, but he got voluntold to go. That's what they say in the military. He got voluntold to go. He was in Afghanistan, and the wives of the soldiers and the men of the women soldiers who was over there, the spouses of the soldier, I should say, we often supported one another. Why our spouses was overseas in the desert. That's what we call it. And we will often talk about how when they came home, they were different. They were different because they experienced trauma from what they seen and what they had to do. And even though they were trained to do it, it's different when you actually got to do it. So I'm saying all of this to say that us as humans, we got to see the humanity in one another. And that is what I've been going through this world my whole life, trying to understand and trying to help people see. So we can just do better and be better, because these kids don't deserve it. And we, as the grown adult version of our kids' self, we didn't deserve it. We didn't deserve it when we were a kid. We didn't deserve it when we were a teenager. We didn't deserve it when we were a young adult. We don't deserve it now in our mid-30s, upper 30s. I'm a year away from being 40, which is wild. We don't deserve it in our 40s or 50s. We don't deserve that. God don't want that for us. It's not our punishment. I often thought, if I would have did this, I could have prevented that from happening to me. Maybe if I remember saying this as, thinking back and when I was a little girl, If I wouldn't have sat next to him on the couch, he wouldn't have touched me there. If I would have said something or moved away or stayed awake, he wouldn't have been able to come up next to me and unzip my pants. If I wouldn't have went back down them steps, he wouldn't have never choked me. If I wouldn't have went through his phone, he wouldn't have helped me over the banister and choked me. I didn't deserve it. You didn't deserve whatever it was that happened to you. You didn't deserve it. We didn't deserve it. But it is our responsibility to heal from it. Our responsibility, because we carry that around. They're not carrying it around. They going about their lives like it didn't even happen. Child, listen. Like it didn't even happen. And we carrying around their burdens, their baggage, their cross that they supposed to bear. We didn't deserve it. But we got to heal from it for ourselves. It's for us. It's not for them. When they say forgiveness is for you, it's not for them. It is true. Because if you don't forgive them, they have power and control over you. It torments you. It changes you. It controls how you view and see the world, how you treat people, how you go through life, your outlook, whether you will and won't go for, whether you will and won't tap into all the things that God has for you, that he put into you so you can help this world be better. We all got God gifts. That's how much he loves us. You got a gift. You might be working in the job that you're working in, but you got a gift. And you might be doing the job and using your gift. And you can use your gift wherever you go. But you also might be in a job where you're miserable, like I said earlier. And you there just collecting the check, being miserable, making everybody else miserable, and you making the place toxic. Leave and go find out what brings you joy. And you can only find that out is if you get healed, honey. That's for gentlemen and women. If you get healed, honey, go get healed, honey. Go get you some healing. Go get you some healing. Go get you some help. Help is here. Help has always been here. Okay? Tap in. Ain't that the new saying right now? Tap in. Lock in, chat. Tap in. Go get yourself some healing. And hey, I started this by saying, YouTube University, you got so many therapists on here. Real life psychiatrists and therapists. Real live ones that offer up their wisdom, their knowledge, their education, their lived learned experience from doing therapy and all the things that they done did, all the models they done used and the techniques, they put it on YouTube for free. I'll link in the chat, the ones in the chat and in the description. I'll probably put in the description. The ones that I've been using over the past 4 years, whether you got OCD, you struggle with, whatever trauma you've been through, like whatever it is. I also struggle with binge eating, like any of the things I have, and that's coming by way of trauma as well. Any of the ones that I have found, I will put them on there. But I want you to know, whatever you're going through, God has an answer. I am telling you this. The doctors couldn't explain what was happening to me. The therapist that I went to couldn't explain what was happening to me. Guess how I found out I had OCD when they was trying to diagnose me with psychosis? You know how many people out here in the streets are diagnosed with psychosis because they have to put a code to it, and they find one thing that you're experiencing and they associate it with this diagnosis because it's the closest thing that they can figure out because they got a bill for it. This is somebody that has been in healthcare that went to school for this. Now, I didn't go to school to become a doctor. I studied the business of healthcare, and I also been in healthcare, and I also manage healthcare. So many people are getting misdiagnosed because they have to bill a code to get reimbursement for the services they provide. So you come in for help. You can't explain what's happening to you, but you know something is wrong. They poke and prod, try to figure it out because doctors is diagnosticians. No, I don't know why I can't say diagnosticians. Yeah, that's how you say it. That's how you say it. I've been saying it for forever, but see, that's what happened with my brain is better, much better, but the words I will easily be able to pull for it, it's hard for me to find it like it used to be before I went through what I went through. But just like a mechanic, sometimes they know is this. Sometimes they have to poke and prod and figure it out. And guess what they do? They got to run codes. Doctors got to run tests. And all the stuff that they running you is costing you. But they don't know all. Guess how I found out I have OCD, religious scrupulosity? Guess who told me, y'all? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a human. It was, but it wasn't. It was not a human I went to. It was in the middle of the night. My mind is tormenting me. I'm in a mental battle, crying, ready to leave out of this world because it won't stop. It won't. As soon as I go to lay down, my mind is attacking me. Why? Because what I went through happened at night in the dark. And I became afraid of the dark and I had insomnia. And when you don't have a lot of sleep, it gets worse. Trauma. All of it's connected to trauma. I'm crying, I'm fearful. I just wanted to stop. I go on the good old Google. Good old Google, honey. Good old Google. And I start putting in my symptoms because no doctor is an expert of what you're experiencing. Okay? You partner with doctors. Doctors go to school, but doctors don't know everything. You partner with doctors. And what informs research, y'all? What informs cures? What informs the solutions? They have to learn by way of what patients tell them. You give doctors the information. You give the researchers information. They learn from our lived learned experience. So you are the expert in your experiences. You inform healthcare, their research. You inform their treatments. You inform the diagnostics. You inform the testing. So for y'all out there that be afraid of doctors, that just go along and do whatever doctors tell y'all to do, I'm telling y'all, break free from that. This is y'all message. This could be something that God need for y'all to hear. And I know I've been working in healthcare for a long time. I've been an advocate for a long time as well. Y'all need to hear this. I've been teaching people for a long time this since I was early on in healthcare. You are the expert in your own health because the doctor is not with you every day. That's why they tell y'all, write down what you experiencing. So when you go to the doctor, you can give them the full picture of what you experiencing because they only know what they know. And if you don't tell them, they won't know. So if you don't give the doctor the full picture, they can't help you. And even if you give them the full picture and they haven't experienced it before and they didn't go to school for it, they can't help you. Because if you don't know, now you know. Doctors don't go to school to learn everything about the medical field. They don't know everything about everything. They go to medical school and then they have to pick what specialty they're going to be in. And that's why you have to go to this doctor for that doctor for that, get a referral for that, then get a referral for that. And you getting bounced around like a dog on ping pong ball because one doctor don't know everything. And sometimes, even if they specialize in it, they don't know everything based on how long they've been in the field and if they've done continuing education and if they're open-minded enough and if their biases is controlling how they view you and the words that you say and how you present. Reel it back in, Shell. You've advocated. I hope y'all heard this. I hope y'all, and spread this out to people so they can hear this. People need to know this by people who work in the field, people who went to school for this. You need to know this. You have the power. You are the expert in your own health. So speak up. Don't just go along to get along because, oh, they have the degree, so they know better. No. If it's hurting, say something. If it doesn't feel right, say something. Because you go home with what they do to you. And it's your life on the line, not theirs. You got to pay these bills. They don't. And again, it's your health and life on the line, not theirs. So speak up. Know that you have agency. Know that you have power. And they are partnering with you. They don't control you. They don't have power over you. Tear down those power dynamics, y'all. These people don't have power over you. They're human just like us. Government officials are human just like us. Bill collectors, human just like us. Don't cower to these people. They are human just like us. Have your power. Take it back. You're the expert in your own health. Now, my OCD, the reason why I found that out, it wasn't because the people that I went to in healthcare or the people that I landed up in front of in therapy and all that knew what it was. I had to teach my therapist what OCD was because she did not specialize in OCD. I had to teach my doctors what OCD, religious scrupulosity, was and the impact of trauma on my brain because I am a constant learner. I'm a learner of life, and I'm constantly learning. I love learning. I'm a learner for life, and I'm a learner of life. I've been saying that forever. Constantly learning. So when there's something happening, I do a deep dive. I need to know way before we have access to all this internet stuff. I search. What is the answer? How can I figure this out to help me and to help other people? So what I did was, in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, mind being tormented, hearing things, I went to the Googles. And I typed in my symptoms. And some things was coming up, and some things was popping up. And then what changed the game for me is when I put in something along the lines of, um, it was something along the lines of, I'm hearing God's voice. I'm hearing God's voice, and I'm in a mental battle, and I'm hearing God's voice. I think I'm hearing God's voice, and I can't go to sleep, and I'm in a mental battle. It was something along those lines. And guess what popped up? OCD, religious scrupulosity, right on there. And I went right to YouTube University, or it might have been either way. I think it was YouTube. It was YouTube University first. I put that in there, in the search bar, and it all popped up. You see all these videos of people who had the same experience I was having. That's why you got to speak up when things happen in you. Testimony. You got to speak up. We are free by the what, Ma? We are free by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. The reason why, now, God don't want this for us, but we go through things. But we go through it to grow through it, and then we got to reach back and help other people that's going through it. So these tests, they breed a testimony, and use that testimony to help somebody else make it through, because some of us, depending on what was done as we were kids, what they might go through, what we go through, the same thing. Two people can go through the same thing and have two different outcomes. One person might be able to withstand it, and one person might be like, I cannot. Take me home, God. This is why we have to help people. This is why we got to open up our mouth and speak. And I am saying this out loud to y'all, but I'm also speaking to me, because I was embarrassed, I was ashamed, and because I was in leadership and I was in the fields that I was in, I'm like, they'll hold this against me, they'll use this against me. So, and I won't be able to advance, I won't be able to have opportunities, and I'll have things blocked. And I start getting all these messages. What God has for you is for you, and can't no man shut it. Can't no man stop it. They can't close the window. They can't close the door. If it's open for you, you gonna walk through it. God will handle any naysayer, any opposition. He don't play about his kids. We are his kids. But he still don't play about his kids when his other kids is hurting. Okay? When his other kids is hurting other kids, gotta finish that statement. But be the advocate for yourself, because if I would have went along with what they said I've been walking around here saying that I'm psychotic, that I have psychosis, that I'm bipolar. That don't even ring true to me. That I'm manic. People that know me know I ain't manic. Now, I done popped off before, like I told y'all, but that was in defense of other people and myself. But I ain't manic. That ain't me. That ain't me. So I had to learn, like, oh, this is really, and I still battle with it. Like, is it really OCD, or is it spiritual battle, blah, blah, blah. But all that is still OCD. So more and more, every time I had questions, I would get fed. I'd be on YouTube, or I'd be on social media or whatever, and a video would come up answering a question that's in my head. Nobody know, but guess who did? God. In the middle of that night, struggling, tormenting the brain, struggling. I go on here, boom, find the answer. God. Because God got us. He see it. He see us. He know we struggling. He's already sent the help. He was here in the beginning, in the present, in the end, all at the same time. Ain't that wild? Can any human do that? No. No. Mm-mm. Stop giving all y'all power and stop putting these humans on pedestals. We are humans. We're all flawed, and we don't know everything. We know what we know. Okay? And what we know we need to do is take care of ourselves and stop hurting one another. We got to release it, y'all. We got to release it. We got to be open and listening and empathetic and supportive. Okay? Because we are literally killing one another. We are killing one another, not God. I just need to get on here and say that. Because in my life right now, I am seriously partnering with God. I'm like, I now understand what they used to say. God is here to partner with us. He's here to help us. He's here to love on us. He's here to protect us. He's here to be our friend, our father, our protector, all the things, all the things. He wants us to prosper. He don't want us to be in poverty. He don't want us struggling. So partner with God. Partner with God. Okay. You don't know where to start. You ain't ready yet. That's okay. You don't believe yet. That's okay. That's all right. I was a believer and still had unbelief as a believer. And guess what I kept hearing from different sources, different pastors, different social medias. Guess what I kept on hearing from them when they would explain different scenarios in the scripture? It would be, God, I believe, but help my unbelief. He ain't mad that we ask questions. I now can say that freely without being afraid, because OCD or whatever. I can now say that and not be afraid. He's not afraid of the questions that we're gonna ask. He's not mad at us for having questions. We can question God. We can ask why. Why? Okay. He's here to partner. He's listening. He's trying to teach us how to be understanding. Just think about how Jesus showed up. Jesus was understanding. The people that he was ticked off at was the people who was hurting his children. He was ticked off at them folk. He wasn't ticked off and mad and judging and why are you homeless? Get off your butt. Why are you taking advantage of the system? Was that God or was that the leaders of these systems? I'll wait. That wasn't God. Jesus wasn't doing that. Mm-mm. He was helping those that were the least fortunate. He was feeding those that were hungry, clothing those that were cold, healing those that were sick, breathing life into those that were dead. He wasn't doing that. He was here to fix everything that the humans in leadership was causing. This is why I went to school. Because I was boots on the ground, seeing the people in leadership in healthcare was making these decisions for us as the workers, boots on the ground, and for patients. And they ain't came down and had nan conversation with any of us, but making all these changes and causing harm to the patients and causing burnout amongst the staff. And I said, oh, I need to go to school so I can get to these tables and I can help these people in leadership see what they're not seeing so they can make better decisions that will stop harming their staff and patients. And y'all, I've been doing that all my adulthood and low key all my life because I started with my family. Leaders in this world, if ever you come across this video, get it together. Do better. Do better. You have the power, you have the resource, you have the access. Use it for good and stop using it for profit and for evil. Now, we all want to make a little profit. Let me pause on that. Ain't nothing wrong making a little profit. But profit should not trump. Profit should not reign and control and dictate whether or not somebody deserves resources, whether or not somebody deserves access to what they paid into, whether or not somebody deserves help and support and access of the resources that we are paying into. Government, healthcare. I am tough on the sectors that I'm in, as y'all see. I expect better because we are there to help people. Government, healthcare, public health. Those are industries, sectors that are meant to help people, not harm. In healthcare, the oath is to do no harm. Public health is to improve the health and well-being of the public, the state of the public's health. We're to protect it, to prevent things, to stay abreast of what's happening, and to protect the public's health. Government, you are to be a good steward of the people's taxes and not screw the pooch and steal and stuff your pockets and have us pay more while you pay less. I'm all for profit because listen, I want to live nice too. And I want all that God has for me. But I would never do it at the risk of somebody else being hurt. We got to go back to the drawing board. We got to come up with a better solution. Because it's a way for all of us to win. It's more than enough resources out here. It's more than enough resources. It's enough for everybody. Hey. God ain't never bounced a check. God ain't never bounced a check. God got unlimited resources. It's man that has limited resources. God is unlimited. Overflowing, milk and honey. So the numbers ain't numbering. The math ain't mathing. I think that's the saying. The people ain't peopling like they should be, how they should be. Humanity ain't where it need to be. We got to do better, y'all. Enough is enough. I don't care who it is that is dying. If they died before their time, before it was time for the good Lord to bring them home, it is too early. And if they're dying for things that could have been prevented due to people wanting to make profit and greed, because don't get this twisted, guns, why we have them and why they won't take it away and why they make all these excuses and do a whole bunch of what is it called, gaslighting and shifting of the mirrors and pointing at the fingers and being divisive, is because of greed. It's because of greed. And the question is always, when it happens, when somebody gets killed and when kids get shot up in schools and all this stuff happens and all this destruction happened by way of guns, it's always the question, when are we going to just address it and take care of it? It's the reason why, because it's profit. It's all profit driven. Everything, all these systems and structure is profit driven. It's supposed to be by the people, but it's not. It's about profit. And it's nothing wrong with making profit, but it should not be at the extent, and I should say at the expense of humans, of God's children. And hey, y'all see what's been happening with all these leaders getting exposed? It's been happening for years now, ain't it? I think God's saying enough is enough. Do my children, my servant, no harm. Children, we are his children. Okay? All of us are his children, even those that are doing some evil acts and acting the fool out here for greed. They still his children. But everything that's done in the dark will come to light, and that's what you've been seeing happen. It's been getting exposed. And years ago, I was like, oh, all right, God, I see. It's up. Time is up. He's sick of it. People are getting exposed. Okay? So treat people right. Treat people right. Do better by people. Okay? People in the public sector, do better. Public health sector, healthcare, nonprofit. Whoo! Y'all got to do better. We got all these doggone nonprofits in Cleveland. All these doggone healthcare systems, all these hospitals, and we still dying wild around here. Wild west around here with the death. Infant maternal mortality. Cleveland is named as one of the top 3 places of being the worst place for women, for Black women in particular. And our numbers is horrible. Why, when we got all this stuff down here? Y'all just catching this because I have been in this space for so long with healthcare and partly public health for the past 5 years. And it's just, dude, do better. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Enough is enough. Okay? So y'all spread this out because people need to hear it. Share it widely, spread it out. People need to hear it because people need to take power over their life. People need to have autonomy over their health. And they need to speak truth to power. And we need to be united in this thing. All as God's children. Okay? Anybody saying beat nobody over the head with Christianity? Because God don't do that. He don't do that. He gives us freedom to choose. He don't judge us for our decisions. He gives us freedom. You make that choice, that's your choice. You make this choice, that's your choice. I love you. And you are free to make that choice. And understand, some choices have rewards, some choices have consequences. But you are free. He don't force nobody. That's humans that do that. That's humans based on their view of the world and based on their relationship with their parent. They put this extra lens and stipulation on God's love and acceptance of us. I've been learning that as I've been healing through healing from OCD and going through my journey and learning God's real character. God's real character. Human put that spin on that. Slaves and stuff like that. That's a human thing. That's not a God thing. It's not a God thing. It's a human thing, y'all. So let's stop blaming God for what we are doing to one another. Okay? He's an innocent bystander in this. God is an innocent God is an innocent bystander in this. I'm over here advocating for God. This is me through and through. I'm an advocate. God is he's an innocent bystander in this. He didn't cause this. He's not doing this to us. We are doing this to ourselves. And because we're doing this, we can fix it. He has given us the power to fix it. He has given us enough knowledge and resources and solutions to fix it. He already have solutions way before we were ever born to the problems we didn't even know we were going to cause, honey. Whoa, he good. So tap in. Know where your help is coming from whenever you're ready. And even when you don't know what to say and you don't believe, he still knows your heart and he's still sending you help. And take this as a sign. This could be your help. Tap into these free resources that are out here, y'all. Y'all got free resources in y'all community. If y'all need help, if y'all are struggling, access the free help. There are organizations out here that do things for free. Okay? Make your health a priority. It can be work, work, work until you die. Okay? You can't put your health, you can, because I've done it too. We put our health on the back burner and say we ain't got time because we got to work and we got kids, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess who ain't going to have you, that job or your kids, if you drop dead because you ain't taking care of yourself? Reality check. And this is what I had to tell myself too. You got to prioritize and take care of yourself. And I'm telling myself that again. Prioritize and take care of yourself. Get the help you need. It is free resources out there. Take advantage of that if you cannot afford it. And if you can afford it, take advantage of the free resources. And sponsor somebody else who can't afford it. And maybe they can't access the free resources in their place, in their space. But what is free is you can share this video to somebody else and put this on their radar. Hey, it's free YouTube therapy or free therapists on YouTube. Real therapists, real psychotherapists, therapists of everything you can think of. If you're in pain, like I often am as a result of the attack that I experience, often in pain. So you often see me doing this with my shoulder and my neck. I also need to tap into these free resources because chiropractors on YouTube that have a channel. Instead of paying $400 every time I go to chiropractor, I can go in there for free and get the same information they told me when I went in person to the chiropractor. The chiropractor on YouTube told me the same thing for free. So we know in healthcare that patients feel ripped off because we are also patients at our place, and you feel like you're getting ripped off. Guess what? That ain't an excuse no more. It's not a barrier because guess what? God put that in them for them to start a YouTube channel to provide it for free because there are people in the world that need it. God's answers to our problems before we knew we needed it. Tap in. Tap in. Okay. I done got all this off my chest. This want to be in a therapy session for me, y'all. But outside of a therapy session for me, hopefully it was for somebody else who needed to hear it, who have been struggling, dealing with trauma, or they know other people that have been dealing with trauma. Thank y'all to everybody who came on here. This was not a traditional Club Win session because I talk more about the issues of the world that need to get resolved, that has us down and distraught and hopeless and feeling like there's no support out there and we're giving up and leaving this earth too soon and we're hurting one another. This conversation needed to happen. It needs to happen. And I just want to remind y'all, in the midst of all of this is still light, is still joy. it is still something to celebrate. It is something worth celebrating. Get yourself the help. Find a way to see joy in the midst of all the darkness and pain that you've been experiencing. It is something. These babies, they are precious gifts from God. Go help somebody. When you feel all hell is breaking loose in your world and you feel like you are constantly under it and you want to give up and you don't know what else to do and it's just going and going, it's just too much. Go help somebody and watch how everything turn around for you. That's how we get free. And when you help somebody, what organically happens is you start connecting with other humans and you realize that what you're going through is meant to help somebody else break free. Ooh, God good. God good, y'all. He cold. He set that thing up. Now, not for us to go through this stuff, but to have answers for when we do go through it. Is to help others that's going through it. So help somebody when you feel like all hell is breaking loose and you are going through the worst season of your life and you can't see a way out and you don't yet believe that there's hope on the other side or there's light on the other side or there's joy in the midst of darkness or the sun will shine again. Go help somebody. Go do a good deed. I'm telling you. I'm only telling you this because I lived it. This is my testimony. Y'all done got all my testimony. Y'all done got all my testimony. So I pray this helps somebody. Share this with people. And hey, I want to make this clear. I don't care about making profit off of YouTube. I don't care about the numbers. I only care that the people who need to hear what God needs them to hear, hears it. And what doesn't permeate with you, what doesn't resonate with you, do away with it. But if God is saying something to you, message, tap in. Tap in. Get that help y'all need. Get that help y'all need. I'm telling you, it works. It works. The more and more I tapped in, the more and more free I got. And I was out of bondage. I'm out of bondage, y'all. OCD. It's still there, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. And I know where my help come from. I know God is at the center, but at one point I couldn't even trust God. And so I didn't tap into God, but I kept utilizing what God was sending me. And I knew God was sending it to me, but it still wasn't, I don't want no parts of that because I was being tormented up here. And I didn't know if it was God, if it was me, if it was the enemy, or if it was the trauma. And it turns out, y'all, it was the trauma that caused the OCD, religious scrupulosity. So for any of y'all out there with OCD, go heal. Go heal. It'll help. It's going to help dramatically because as you heal, you'll break free. Your brain will feel safe again. Your brain has you in bondage and trapped and tormenting you, making you think you got to do all these things. And it just keep you in that cycle, having you fear and afraid that if you don't do these things, these bad things are going to happen. The more and more you get healed and address the very thing that is causing the OCD, the more you'll break free from the OCD. Thank you, God, for helping me realize that. And for not giving up on me and not turning your back on me, even though I kept running away. And kept running away and turning away from you. Thank you. Because now I can help others. You can't help others if you ain't been through what they've been through. Well, you can love on people. But sometimes you need, when you're going through it, you need other people who have been through exactly what you've been through. Because somebody who ain't never been through OCD, and specifically religious scrupulosity OCD, could never understand what I went through. And the torment and the terror. Shh. Lord, thank you for deliverance and freedom. And thank you for being here with us and not giving up on us. And offering all the support and all the love and being gentle and patient and kind and loving and empathetic and empowering us when we're beating ourselves down and beating other people down. Y'all, okay. I pray that this resonated with whoever needs to hear it and that y'all tap in with these resources that God has poured into us to create for our fellow brothers and sisters. If you are leading organizations, agencies, hospital systems, you are your fellow brothers and sisters that are homeless, I say unhoused, that are struggling with mental health issues, addiction, poverty, trauma. It is your job to make sure that the organizations that you are running and the people that you are leading with humanity in mind when making your decisions and when providing y'all services. Y'all got to lead with love. Y'all got to lead with humanity and help your staff get the training that they need to be better. To be better. It's a lot of training out there. I've trained my staff. I've trained myself. I pitched this training to healthcare organizations I've worked for and leaders, and now in public health. There is unbiased training. There is trauma-informed care training. There is healing training to do shadow work and healing work for yourself. It's all type of answers out here to help. So get the help y'all need and stop inflicting pain on one another, and especially these babies, because they're going to grow up very angry, and they're going to inflict all that pain that you caused them onto other people who didn't deserve it because they never cut them. You did. So fix you so you'll stop inflicting pain on the rest of this world. Okay. Release. Release release what does not belong to you, okay? Okay? I got to go back and change the title. I told my mom, I said, I'm going to wing this. I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about today, but I know it'll come to me. I know it'll come to me because at this point, I know God. I trust him. I know me and I know God. I know I don't always prepare, but I know God always got a plan. Ooh, that's a word. I often have a good word, but I rarely capture it. And I'm like, oh, I should have wrote that down. This capture because it's on video. I rarely prepare, but God always have a plan in every area of my life, y'all. I'm telling you. God is real and God is good. What the church say? All the time. And all the time, God is good. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna let y'all go. But listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with me this club win. I appreciate y'all for sticking around. I know, again, it wasn't the traditional club win. This is what the world needed right now, though. This is what we all needed right now. So share it out. Lift it up, pour it out. Lead by example. If you already healed, lead by example. So we can get more people healed and we can have more light in this world and darkness. Light cast out darkness, y'all. All right, release what don't belong to y'all, y'all. Release what don't belong to y'all. So we can live this beautiful world together and enjoy all the fruits of our labor. And also stop laboring so much. But yeah, another time. Thank you, God. Love you guys. Until next time, enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Go find something beautiful to do. It's about to be fall time. Find something beautiful to do. Don't work all your life. Go find something beautiful to do. Take a break. I'm talking to me, but I'm also talking to y'all. Take a break. You deserve it. Love on yourself. Love on your family. Give hugs. Hugs are healing. 13 seconds or 32 seconds. One of them is some research behind it, but hugs are healing. Give a hug. Show some love. Give a smile. Uplift somebody. Speak life into somebody. Donate. Support. Try not to be afraid of the unhoused folks. They are our brothers and sisters. Try not to be afraid, and that's for me too. Try not to be afraid. Help them. They're just the adult versions of their little kid self who experienced trauma and they're stuck. They're stuck mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, financially as well. So let's help one another get unstuck. Okay? Release it, y'all. Release it. Release it. That's his all. That's his it. I love you all. I love you all. I feel like I deserve ice cream, but I don't really want it. But I deserve it, but I'm not going to get it. All right. I'm going to lay down now. I'm tired. I gave all I could give. Bye. Love y'all. Until next Friday, live well and prosper, y'all. Got it. There we go, y'all. Got it in the stream. Okay, officially. I pause so I can put that as my thumbnail. I'm like, I gotta start doing thumbnails. That's what YouTubers do. That'll be thumbnail. That was cute. Okay, I'm officially in the stream. Bye, y'all. Bye, bye, bye. Until next time. Peace.